What do you say we interrupt regular programming for the following special event?
This is the Lancaster JetHawks pregame show. Stay tuned for information on the upcoming game, the starting lineups, and an interview from the field. The JetHawks pregame show is brought to you by Burns Pharmacy in Lancaster. For all your health care needs, it's Burns Pharmacy, downtown on Lancaster Boulevard.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to the hangar. Tonight's edition of the Burns Pharmacy pregame show as the JetHawks and the Quakes will get together in the final game of this three-game series. The JetHawks winning the first game, and then last night the Quakes winning a wild one with 4 runs in the top of the ninth inning, knocking off the JetHawks by a score of 17-14 in a game that took 3.5 hours to play here last night. The JetHawks jumped ahead early. The Quakes came back and scored the next 10 runs, led by his 10-3 score. Then the JetHawks in the middle innings just chipped away. Got one in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 more in the sixth, and then 6 in the bottom of the seventh inning to take a lead. Only to see the Quakes get 4 unearned runs in the top of the ninth inning to take the win, 17-14. The JetHawks last night got a pair of home runs from Jesus Cota, one over the fence and one of the inside the park variety. Cota, the third member of the JetHawks to have a multi-home run game this year through the first 25 games. But still, it would not be enough as the JetHawks went down to defeat last night. JetHawks committed 4 more errors in the game last night and now have 38 errors overall on the year. So tonight, Clint Gucher will go to the mound for the JetHawks. Gooch is 2-2, a 5.83 earned run average. And we'll get our first look this year at Joe Saunders. Saunders, who has pitched well this year for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and will go to the mound, a little left-hander, and Saunders is 2-3 with a 2.89 ERA, as he has lost his last 3 starts in a row, losing to High Desert, San Jose, and then the Inland Empire. All of those starts now at the epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga. So it's Saunders against Clint Gucher tonight for the Lancaster JetHawks. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have more about tonight's game and some other news and notes and some other business for you as we continue here on the Burns Pharmacy pregame show on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Burns Pharmacy in downtown Lancaster is your one-stop home health care center and have been serving the valley for over 50 years. Whether it's wound care, diabetic supplies, ostomy, mastectomy products, incontinence supplies, or bathroom equipment, Burns Pharmacy at 866 Lancaster Boulevard is the one stop you'll ever need to make. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 9 to 6 on Saturdays, or visit their website at www.burnsrxpharmacy.com. With over 50 years in the valley, you'll never need to go anywhere else. Burns Pharmacy.
You have exquisite taste, a profound respect for tradition, a deep appreciation for quality and design. Then there's the other you.
The one who likes bopping around town in your stylish Toyota RAV4. Or the one who loves nothing better than cruising in your smooth-riding Highlander. With room for 7 and an available 230-horsepower V6, you're flat out gone. Is conquering mountains more you? Then hit the road and the off-road in a powerful 245-horsepower 4Runner. Or conquer the world in the ultimate Toyota SUV, the mighty Land Cruiser. The full-size Sequoia is ready to rock too, with room for 8 and a V8.
Yes, with 5 Toyota SUVs to choose from, there's sure to be one that's just right for you.
And the other you. See your Southern California Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Get the feeling. Toyota.
Welcome back to the hangar in Lancaster as the JetHawks and the Quakes get ready for the final game of this 3-game series. Also scheduled to pitch along with Joe Saunders tonight for the Quakes. The Angels send Brendan Donnelly up here to Lancaster to pitch a couple innings of a rehab, as Donnelly trying to come back from that freakish injury that he had during spring training when he was hit in the nose with a ball. Broke his nose in 20 places came back relatively quickly. Ended up being too soon, actually, and had to have a second surgery performed, nasal surgery performed at the end of spring training. And still not quite ready to go, but just trying to round himself back into shape so he can get back into active duty with the Anaheim Angels. So Brendan Donnelly scheduled to pitch 2 innings here tonight. He pitched an inning last Monday down at the Epicenter against Inland Empire, and will pitch here in this game here tonight. The JetHawks will send Clint Gucher to the mound, and of course Gooch, the left-hander from Denton, Texas, pitched in Yakima last year, 6'2", 200-pounder. Will celebrate his 22nd birthday coming up in June, about 5 or 6 weeks from now. And Gucher, who is really just taken to be a starting pitcher as a professional, relieved all of last year up in Yakima, but did start when he was in college. And Gucher, of course, is coming off a pretty good outing up in Modesto, as he'll go to the mound here again tonight with a 2-2 mark and a 5.83 earned run average on the year. For the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, with Joe Saunders going to the mound this evening. Saunders, who in his last start lost in a game on May the 1st last weekend at home against Inland Empire. He went 6 innings in that game. They only gave up 2 runs, both of them earned, but he gave up 7 hits. He walked 2, struck out 3, and one of the 7 hits he gave up was a home run. So for Saunders, he'll be looking to break a 3-game losing streak over his last 3 starts. He won his first 2 starts of the year, but then lost the last 3, so he comes in to this game here tonight 2-3 overall as he goes up against Clint Gucher. After tonight's game, the JetHawks will await the arrival of the High Desert Mavericks tomorrow to open a 3-game series against the Mavs. And Friday night is the Jim Slayton bobblehead giveaway night. Jim will actually be here to assign those bobbleheads when you come to the game tomorrow night. Saturday, it'll be the Superstars visit. We invite you out to come out to those great promotions. And, of course, Sunday is Mother's Day, the finale of the homestand and the finale of the series against the Mavericks, which promises to be very exciting. Remember, these 2 teams got together last weekend, and the Mavericks won 2 out of 3 over at Maverick Stadium in Adelanto. And the JetHawks looking to stay in the race and feel like they have a little score to settle with High Desert as we get ready for that 3-game series coming up starting tomorrow night. The umpires making their way out onto the field, so the exchange of lineup cards just a couple of minutes away. The national anthem coming up and the first pitch just a few minutes away as well. We'll come back from this time out on the Burns Pharmacy pregame show. We'll have a look at last night's games around the California League, tonight's schedule, and the standings as we get ready for play here on this May the 6th evening. One game actually played already earlier today. We'll have that final for you as well, and that's all coming up here on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Burns Pharmacy in downtown Lancaster is your one-stop home health care center, and they've been serving the Valley for over 50 years. Sometimes we all need a little helping hand, and Burns Pharmacy has mobility products by Pride and a full selection of bathroom equipment with handles to give us that little extra help that we all need from time to time. Burns Pharmacy at 866 Lancaster Boulevard is the only stop you'll ever need to make. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 9 to 6 on Saturday, or visit their website at www.burnsrxpharmacy.com.
You know, the goal of baseball is to get home quickly. The last thing you want to see is some player lollygagging around third when there's going to be a close play at the plate. Well, Farmer John feels the same way about ham, bacon, sausage, and hot dogs. You know all of Farmer John's products are made fresh right here in the Southland. That way they get to home as quickly as possible, and it's just a short slide into the plate. That's your plate at home, not home plate. Get fresh. Get Farmer John.
Nobody sells more homes in Antelope Valley than RE/MAX All-Pro. When you're ready to sell your home, don't settle for anything less than the best. RE/MAX All-Pro. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. RE/MAX All-Pro with offices both in Lancaster and Palmdale. For more information on the Valley's top-selling team, visit their website at www.remaxallpro.com.
the Hangar in Lancaster. The JetHawks and the Quakes getting ready to square off in the final game of the series. Last night around the California League, High Desert beat Lake Elsinore 9-3. Forrest Martin beat Gabe Rivas in that game up at Maverick Stadium. Martin went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, walked 4 and struck out 6. Dan Boyd had 3 hits in that game. Modesto over Visalia 4-2. Mark Sauer, the winner, beat Buddy Gallagher. Jeff Coleman with his second save. Nelson Cruz 2 for 4 with a pair of RBIs for Modesto. San Jose was an 8-4 winner over Bakersfield. Jeff Peterson beat Mark Kamali. Dan Trumbull 4 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs in that game for San Jose. And Stockton was a loser at home to Inland Empire, 7-1. Bobby Livingston goes to 4-0. Livingston went 6 innings, gave up 1 run, no walks, and struck out 6 on the way to the victory. So coming up today, the one game that's already completed, Bakersfield shut out San Jose at San Jose 2-0 today. Chris Soden picks up the win. Other games, Visalia at Modesto, Ben Crockett against Matt Lynch. Inland Empire again at Stockton. Felix Hernandez against Joel Kristen in that game. And Lake Elsinore at High Desert, David Pauly against Bo Hall. And here at the Hangar, Joe Saunders goes to the mound for Rancho Cucamonga. Clint Gucher to the bump tonight for the Lancaster JetHawks. We'll take a timeout when we come back. The first pitch and the starting lineups for tonight's game are next. Time to play some baseball on the Lancaster JetHawks Radio Network.
Burns Pharmacy in downtown Lancaster is your one-stop home health care center and have been serving the Valley for over 50 years. Whether it's wound care, diabetic supplies, ostomy, mastectomy products, incontinence supplies, or bathroom equipment, Burns Pharmacy at 866 Lancaster Boulevard is the one stop you'll ever need to make. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 9 to 6 on Saturdays, or visit their website at www.burnsrxpharmacy.com. With over 50 years in the Valley, you'll never need to go anywhere else. Burns Pharmacy.
The best value, just around the corner. Penny Saver.
You know the Penny Saver is California's best-read publication, reaching more homes than the top 10 newspapers in California combined. But did you know the Penny Saver features Career Mart with jobs right in your neighborhood? Why commute when the best career may be just around the corner? Office work, sales, security, drivers, warehouse, customer service, and career education from local schools are all in the Penny Saver. And when you get the job you've been looking for, don't forget to celebrate by ordering a pizza with a coupon you'll find in the Penny Saver. The Penny Saver, where the best values are just around the corner, and PennySaverUSA.com, where the best values are just a click away.
The best value, just around the corner. Penny Saver.
Check Penny Saver's Career Mart section.
You're listening to Lancaster JetHawks Baseball on Community Radio, 1340 AM, AGPI AM Mojave.
The Lancaster JetHawks are on the air, featuring the future stars of the Arizona Diamondbacks. JetHawks Baseball is brought to you in part by Toyota, with a complete line of cars and trucks. Toyota, what a feeling. By First City Credit Union. They are the Antelope Valley's credit union. By RE/MAX All Pro. Nobody sells more homes in the Antelope Valley than RE/MAX All Pro. By Hunter Dodge in the Lancaster Auto Center. And by Farmer John, made fresh right here in the Southland. Get fresh, get Farmer John. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Lancaster JetHawks and Minor League Baseball Incorporated, and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Lancaster JetHawks and Minor League Baseball Incorporated is prohibited.
Lancaster, it's Lancaster JetHawks baseball, as tonight the Lancaster JetHawks will play host to the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes in the final game of the three-game series. Denise Pettis with our national anthem. The Young Marine group from Edwards Air Force Base now retires the colors back over to the first base side as the crowd remains standing and at attention here as the Young Marines retire the colors. Last night, the JetHawks losing a disappointing loss, a very back and forth game, and at some points a game that really wasn't very artistic, really. It was the JetHawks losing last night 17-14 in the final as the Quakes came up with 4 unearned runs after 2 were out in the top of the ninth inning last night to be able to knock off the JetHawks. So with the loss, the JetHawks are 16-10, a game and a half behind Inland Empire, who was a winner last night up in Stockton. Inland Empire has the best record in the league at 18-9. And the JetHawks, second in the South. Lake Elsinore's break even 500 at 13-13. Rancho Cucamonga with the win goes to 12-14. As High Desert is 12-15, 6 games behind in the South Division. Over to the North, Modesto 17-9 leads the way. San Jose's 13-15. Stockton 12-15. 11-15 is Visalia, and then 8-17 the Bakersfield Blaze struggling here in the early going of 2004. So our starting lineups for tonight are sponsored by the SBC Smart Yellow Pages. Always turn to the SBC Smart Yellow Pages to find the information that you need. It's the book with the most accurate and most complete information. It's life's most used book, the SBC Smart Yellow Pages. For the Quakes, they'll line up this way tonight against left-hander Clint Gucher, as it will be Reggie Willits to lead off. He'll be in center field. Eric Ibar will hit second, and he will play shortstop. Mike Napoli will be the first baseman. He'll hit third. Jared Abruzzo will be the DH tonight, hitting the 4 spot. Greg Porter plays third base and hits fifth. Ryan Buddy does the catching, and he will hit in the 6th spot. Adam Pankovic back in there tonight. He'll play second base. And bat in the 7th spot, Jason Sugden will be the right fielder, and he'll bat 8th. B.J. Weed will play in left field tonight. David Gates apparently not able to go after twisting an ankle apparently last night when he crashed into the wall on the inside the park home run by Jesus Cota. So Weed will get the start in left field tonight. We're ready to play baseball, and the first pitch to Willits, a breaking pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. We're underway here at the hangar. For Gucher, as he makes his 6th appearance and 6th start of the year. Next pitch over again for a strike, and it's 0-2. Gucher, of course, is coming off just a simply great performance up in Modesto in his last start. I take that back. It was actually in High Desert where he had his last start and picked up a win. He went 7 2/3 in that game, the longest outing by a JetHawks starter this year. The 0-2 pitch is outside. It's 1-2. Gucher ready again. The 1-2 offering is hit foul. And it count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Over those 7 2/3, he gave up 2 runs, both earned on 6 hits. Did not walk anybody and struck out 9. The 9 strikeouts is also a season high for JetHawks pitchers. The ball fouled along the right field line again. That's going to go back into the crowd. Bounce back out onto the field for a moment, so it count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. On Reggie Willis to lead off here in the top of the first inning. The 1-2 again. Chop foul. That's going to go into the Quakes dugout over on the other side. And it stays a ball and 2 strikes on Willis. Gucher holding that glove straight out in front of him. Now Roxon comes home with the 1-2. Ground ball toward the shortstop. Matt Morgan gets to start at short tonight. Morgan throws it across in time for the out. Of course, Adam Haley had 3 errors in the game here last night, but with Saunders, a left-hander, on the mound tonight, it was Wally Backman's thinking to get as many right-handed bats in the lineup as he possibly could, so Adam gets the day off. Matt Morgan starts at shortstop. So 1 out, here's Eric Ibar. Ibar takes the first pitch down low, ball 1-0. Ibar, the number 2 hitter in the league at .363 at the start of play tonight. Gucher's 1-0 offering is hit foul over on the first base side. That'll make the seats just in front of the skyboxes over on the first base side. And it's 1-1 strike on Ibar. Ibar with a couple of hits last night, plus a walk, was hit by a pitch. As he takes a pitch inside, it's 2 balls and a strike. And he scored 3 times in the game last night. The 2-hit game that he had was his 10th multi-hit game of the year already. The 2-1 offering is a big chopper. That's going to go foul. Bobby Meacham can't make the play over there at the third base coach's box. As the closer, Austin Bilkey, looks at the skipper and says, "Look, Skip, let me play it. I'm the one that's out here being the bodyguard. You just coach third." So it's 2-2 on Ibars. Gucher ready, comes home with a 2-2 offering. Ground ball again toward Morgan. Nice play by Matt. Good quick release and a good strong throw as well. And Ibar's out. A couple of ground balls to short. And there's 2 outs to bring up Mike Napoli. With Morgan getting the start at shortstop tonight, it means that in the first 27 games of the year, he has started at each infield position, including catcher. So here's Napoli. Napoli, who had the home run that proved to be really the difference in the game here last night with 2 outs in the 9th inning, as he homered off of Bill White. As it pitches inside, ball 1 no strikes. We ended up going 4 for 5 last night, drove in 4, scored 4 times. As the next pitch is over for a strike. And it's 1 strike. But as good as Napoli's night was at the plate, he did not lead the team in runs batted in last night. His 4 was actually trumped by David Gates, who drove in 5 last night. But Gates, as we mentioned, not in the lineup tonight after running into the wall here last night, was really kind of hampered and slowed by what looked like a twisted ankle after he ran into the wall. The pitch hit foul back to the screen again by Napoli. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Napoli has the longest hitting streak in the league this year, although it's not active any longer. Pitch again hit foul off the first base side. Napoli had an 18-game streak snapped on Saturday at home against Inland Empire. That's the longest one of the year so far in the California League. Gucher's 2-2 on the way. Is rolled foul again past Bobby Meacham, standing at third base, and it's going to roll all the way down into the Quakes bullpen. And we'll re-rank and do it all again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gucher's 2-2 pitch on the way. Bounces up there, trying to get him to chase one, but not biting Napoli, so he count runs full on him now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. For Gucher, it's his first start of the year against Inland Empire. Or check that, against Rancho Cucamonga, I should say. As again, the pitch rolled foul past Bobby Meacham down there at third base. And again, the count stays full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gucher, who is the one guy who was not going to face Rancho in that 4-game series down in Cucamonga. This is the second week of the season, so they get their first look at the lefty. And Napoli tries one to left field. Connor just watches it go, and it is gone out of the message center in left field. And Mike Napoli hits his 9th home run of the year and gives the Quakes an early 1-0 lead. Well, Napoli kept fouling away the good pitches and finally got one that he could handle and hit it out over the left field fence. And for Mike, that is his 9th home run of the year. And that would give him the league lead, depending on what Dan Trumbull did in the day game already played today up in San Jose. Here's Jared Abruzzo, who lines one fair down into the left field corner. Jackson has to go into the corner and get it, fire it back in, and Abruzzo has a 2-out double. So a couple of ground balls started the inning innocently enough. And since then, back-to-back extra base hits. So here's Greg Porter, the third baseman. Just to finish the thought, let's see, Trumbull, who played in that day game up in San Jose today, had one hit, and it was a single. So here's Porter. And the first pitch to the left-handed hitting third baseman misses down low, ball one ball and no strikes. Porter also with a pair of hits last night in the game for Rancho Cucamonga. In fact, everybody, until you got down to the bottom of the order, had a pretty good night at the plate for the Quakes, as the next pitch to Gucher is missing outside, one ball and no strikes. Willits had one hit last night. Ibar had two. Napoli with 4. Abruzzo had a couple. Next pitch to Porter, hit foul back to the screen. Porter with 2. Ryan Buddy, who waits on deck, had 2. Gates had 2. Drove in 5 in the game. Then you got down to the bottom of the order. Sugden and Weed on the outside looking in were a collective 0 for 10 between them. 2 balls and a strike on Porter. Gucher coming home out of the stretch. Porter tries to turn on one, but comes up empty, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield pretty much straight away. Carlos Quentin standing in bright sunshine in right field, kind of shading his eyes a little bit. And the 2-2, big off-speed overhand curveball misses outside and runs the count full to Porter. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I guess the hardest part of last night's game, the most difficult pill to swallow for Wally Backman, was the fact that with 2 outs in the 9th inning, as the pitch is swung out and missed, we'll finish that thought when we come back. Quakes get a run on the 9th home run of the year by Mike Napoli. 2 hits overall, they leave a runner, as we'll go to the bottom of the first inning. After a half from the hanger, Quakes won. JetHawks coming up for the first time on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
California Dairy Distributors bring you Altadena Dairy products, the best in the Valley, delivered fresh to your neighborhood stores. Look for the finest premium brand ice cream products, novelties, and milk, pure, wholesome, and good. Guaranteed by farmers to be RBST-free. Check with your neighborhood store. If they're not carrying Altadena products, call the California Dairy Distributors at 1-800-600-3164 for the location nearest you. Doesn't a tall glass of ice-cold milk sound good? California Dairy Distributors, proud sponsor of the Lancaster JetHawks.
When you need a solution to pests in and around your home, business, or in the landscape, call Care Pest Solutions. Experience and diversity enables Care Pest Solutions customers to make one call for all of their pest management needs. Why take on the task of pest control yourself when Care Pest Solutions can do it all for you? Mention you heard about us on the radio and receive a $20 discount towards your first service. Care Pest Solutions, the official pest management of the Lancaster JetHawks. Call 951-1843. Our most important service is yours.
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full court, men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you've got to play. And you can't win if you don't sign up, so do it now. Call 661-942-1121. Pick up your Hoop World entry form after the game. Team Sports Locker, Copeland Sports AV Mall, Cold Stone in Palmdale and Lancaster. Hoop World, presented by Robertson Palmdale Honda and Clear Channel Radio, Antelope Valley.
Well, the Quakes get a run on a solo home run by Mike Napoli in the top of the first inning. So we go to the bottom of the first. Let's give you the JetHawks order as they come up for the first time here tonight. Jared Ball will lead it off. Jared playing center field tonight. Doc Brooks is the designated hitter, batting second. Connor Jackson will be in left field and hit third. Carlos Quentin hits fourth and plays right field. Jamie D'Antona moves up to the 5 spot tonight, plays third base, as Jesus Cota gets the night off. Phil Avlis will hit sixth and do the catching. Mayo Santana plays at first base and bats seventh. Matt Morgan, the shortstop, made a couple of nice plays in the first inning, is batting eighth. And Ned Brown, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup tonight, plays second base and bats ninth. So here's Jared Ball, takes the first pitch down low, ball one ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch to Jared, fastball up high, and it's 2-0. Jared, who came in last night late as a pinch runner, had one at-bat. Ball grounded to the right side. Pankovic has it, throws it across in time for the out. Ball grounds out for the first out. It brings up Doc Brooks. Brooks 1 for 3 last night, scored a couple of times, drove one in and walked. He's now hit in 3 straight, and in 6 of the last 8 games in which he has had at least one at-bat. Remember, for Brooks, a lot of times he's brought in as a pinch runner or maybe a defensive replacement late in the game, so even though he's appeared in a good number of games this year for the JetHawks, he may not actually ever have an official at-bat in the games. The 0-1 misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Not only has Doc hit safely in 3 straight, but he's also scored a run in 3 straight games. Ball lifted in the air to right field. Sugden waiting for it to come down and makes the play for the out. So there's 2 down. That brings up Connor Jackson.
Left fielder, number 30, Connor Jackson.
Connor hit his 4th home run of the year here last night in the first inning. Helped the JetHawks get off to that early 3-0 lead. So Connor, who starts play tonight, hitting .310. Saunders of the line, the first pitch home to Connor. Fastball that's upstairs, ball 1 ball and no strikes. We mentioned Saunders, 2 and 3 on the year, an ERA of just under 3 at 2.89, making his 6th appearance, and Jackson rolls one right back through the middle, base hit. So a 2-out single for Connor Jackson. The JetHawks have their first base runner of the night. And for Connor, that means he extends a hitting streak out as he's now hit in 4 straight games. So here is Carlos Quinton. Quinton, who was 1 for 4 in the game last night, and yes, he was hit by a pitch again. Leads all of baseball, having been hit 16 times already this year. As the pitch is outside the fastball, ball 1. But the one hit that Carlos had, so he also now is hit in 3 straight. And he's hit in 5 of the last 6 as well. Next pitch home to Carlos. Breaking pitch, misses outside from Saunders. And it's ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. We mentioned in the pregame show that Saunders has lost each of his last 3 starts. All of them at home. He's lost to High Desert, San Jose, and Inland Empire. In 2 of those 3 starts, he went 6 innings. In fact, the one game he lost against the Mavericks, in 6 innings, he gave up an unearned run on 3 hits and still lost. There's the 2-0 pitch to Carlos Quinton, driven to center. Back on the ball goes Willett. Still going back. He'll turn. It's going to be over the wall. Home run. It was a low line drive as Carlos Quinton hits a 2-iron over the center field fence for his 6th home run of the year. The JetHawks take the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. So Quinton hits a low line drive out of here. And Jackson and Quinton get the JetHawks not only even but ahead, thank you, after 1. It'll bring up Jamie D'Antona. So the 2 RBIs for Carlos gives him 18. And the pitch home to Jamie misses down low, 1 ball and no strikes. So Carlos continues to swing a very hot bat. Remember, he had a 10-game hitting streak snapped, and D'Antona jumps on one toward left center field. Again, Willis will look up, and this one's gone. D'Antona hits it out, back-to-back home runs for the JetHawks, and it's 3-1. So for the third night in a row, the JetHawks put up 3 runs in the first inning. So it's 3-1 as Saunders is touched up for back-to-back home runs. Saunders, who had not given up a home run until the start that he made against San Jose about 10 days ago. And now, for the first time, he's given up more than 1 home run in a start this year. So Quinton and D'Antona go back-to-back. The 3 amigos come up big here in the first inning tonight as the pitch to Avlis is up high, ball 1 ball, and check that over for a strike. As our home plate umpire tonight called it a strike. Next pitch to Avlis, that's a breaking ball for a strike. The umpires, Dave Sparling behind the plate, and Brandon Cooney out there on the bases. Now the 0-2 pitch to Avlis. That's hit in the air. Playable, though. Willits broke back. Now he's got to come in a hurry and gets there, makes the catch for the out. But a pair of home runs in the inning. A 2-run home run by Carlos Quinton, a solo shot by D'Antona as they go back-to-back, and the JetHawks take a lead after 1. We'll go to the second. JetHawks 3, Quakes 1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Some people like their trucks. Toyota owners love them. Love how tough they are. Let's talk nuts and bolts. Or let's not, because that's what some of the other guys use on their body frames. They use welded or riveted joints. Then there's Toyota. Toyota trucks use one-piece seamless steel rail, so a Toyota truck suspension is stronger. Torsional rigidity is what the engineers like to call it. You'll call it tough, really tough, because the more solid the frame, the more you can keep things from twisting and bending. That's what really makes a truck tough, and that's how Toyota builds every truck they make. Quality, performance, reliability. There's a lot to love in every Tacoma and Tundra. Yeah, Toyota trucks. It's a case of tough love. Just see your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Get the feeling. Toyota.
For more than 84 years, McMahon's Furniture Stores have been serving the West. At McMahon's, you'll find a store full of famous name brands. Lazy Boy, Brookline, Simmons, Serta, RCA, Toshiba, Sharp, Pioneer, and JVC. Frigidaire and Maytag, all at guaranteed low prices. Even your satisfaction is guaranteed. Like it or return it within 30 days. Important reasons to make McMahon's your first stop for home furnishings. McMahon's Furniture Store, 10th Street West at Avenue K4 in Lancaster.
The JetHawks with a pair of home runs in the bottom of the first inning. They'll go to the second, leading 3-1. As here in the second inning, it'll be Ryan Buddy, Adam Pankovich, and Jason Sugden due up for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
Number 6, Ryan Buddy.
Buddy, who in the game here last night, a 3.5-hour contest, he was 2 for 4. He scored 3 times. Along with his 2 hits, he also walked twice in the game here last night, so Buddy was a busy guy. First pitch to Buddy from Clint Gucher over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Gucher, who won his first start of the year and then had to wait until his last start to win his second game. In between there, he lost twice, once against Lake Elsinore and then on the road at Inland Empire. But he also had a no decision stuck in the middle there as well against the 66ers here at home. 1-1 pitch over for a strike, and it's now 1-2. Gucher has gone into the 5th inning in at least every start. One time he has gone 6 in the last start. Probably the best start that a JetHawks pitcher has made this year as the pitch is swung on and missed. So Buddy strikes out. That's the first out here in the second inning. It's also the second strikeout tonight for Clint Gucher. And that brings up Adam Pankovich.
Second base.
In that last start, as we mentioned, Gucher went 7 2/3. That's a high water mark for a JetHawks starting pitcher this year. And he struck out 9, also a high water mark for a JetHawks starter. First pitch to Penkovic, hit foul off the first base side. It's 0-1. So Gucher, born in Houston, now makes his home in Denton. Went to San Jacinto Junior College. That's in Texas, not necessarily the one here in Southern California down in Hemet. As the pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. The San Jacinto Junior College in Texas includes amongst its alum now the leader in all of Major League Baseball in career strikeouts, Roger Clemens, who broke that record last night. As the 0-2 pitch is a fastball in on the knuckles of Penkovic, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 on the way is lined at D'Antona. Jamie one step into the hole, then with that new shiny gloves, just sticks it out there and makes the grab before it can head into left field.
Number 23, Jason.
So it brings up Jason Sugden, the right fielder. Sugden, the switch hitter, turns around and hits from the right side against the lefty Gucher. As the first pitch home to Sugden is lined along the right field line. Long run for Quinton, and it's going to fall foul. And young fan down there with a glove leaning over the railing, just about went on his noodle. But it's a foul ball, and everybody will come back. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the guy trying to catch the ball didn't get it. So 0-1 the count on Sugden. 3-1 JetHawks as we play here in the second. Come on by if you're out driving around. Nothing to do on this Thursday evening. The 0-1 over for a strike, and it's 0-2. Tonight is What Would You Do for $50 night. Yeah, I just want to have people kind of competing between half innings. What's the ballooniest thing you do for $50? The 0-2 pitch. Got him. Great breaking pitch from Gucher. Sugden goes down looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Clinton. He has 3 in the game and sets the side down in order. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the bottom of the second. JetHawks 3, Quakes 1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Ready? Okay. Supreme Cheer proudly presents Clear Channel Radio, Antelope Valley's very first cheer clinic and exhibition, May 22nd and 23rd at JetHawks Stadium. Clinic participants get a taste of learning, practicing, and performing new routines. Plus, they'll build self-confidence heading into the upcoming cheer season. All ages are welcome, no experience necessary, and each participant gets a free t-shirt with paid registration of just $25. For more info on this exciting cheer clinic and exhibition, call 942-1121. That's 942-1121.
Dr. Mike Tyre with Orthodontist Office in Lancaster and Tehachapi invites you to go out and see the Lancaster JetHawks play ball this summer. Dr. Tyre, a University of Pacific graduate, received his orthodontics training at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and is listed in the top 100 Invisalign providers in the nation. Dr. Tyre says there's something exciting about being a baseball fan and something exciting about helping people maintain good-looking, healthy teeth. Dr. Mike Tyre reminds you, if you can't go out and see the JetHawks play, hear the games on AM 1340 KTPI AM.
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full court, men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you've got to play. And you can't win if you don't sign up, so do it now. Call 661-942-1121.
Pick up your Hoop World entry form after the game. Team Sports Locker, Copeland Sports AV Mall, Cold Stone in Palmdale and Lancaster.
Hoop World, presented by Robertson Palmdale Honda and Clear Channel Radio, Antelope Valley.
You're listening to Lancaster JetHawks Baseball on Community Radio, 1340 AM. KTPI AM Mojave.
So we'll go to the bottom of the second. JetHawks up 3-1 as they conclude the series here against Rancho Cucamonga tonight. As Mayo Bannock Santana comes up. Mayo, who hasn't played the last few days, it's been a while since he's been in there. And the first pitch down low, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Mayo, who has not played in the last 5 games, played the final game of the series in Modesto and has not been back on the field since, as the JetHawks have seen a pretty steady diet of right-handers over the past week. 2-0 pitch to Santana. Big chopper over the third baseman's head. Porter couldn't go up and get it, and Mayo picks up a hit. So Santana picks up a hit, and it'll bring up Matt Morgan. Santana, who had been struggling with that single, now has 3 hits in his last 29 at-bats. But it's good to see Mayo get a hit. Now here's Matt Morgan. Morgan kind of falls into that same boat. He doesn't get a lot of work. Bunts it foul. He's in the box, so it's a foul ball, and it's 0-1. Morgan caught on Sunday over at Maverick Stadium, the finale of the series against the Mavericks. In that game, he was 1 for 3. And Matt has seen his average leak its way down to its pleasant level at 162 at the start of play tonight. Next pitch to Morgan, misses outside. Matt does have a couple of home runs. He's driven in 3 this year. As we mentioned, Morgan starting at shortstop tonight, so he's, for the second year in a row, has started a game at every infield position, including catcher. As Saunders goes to first base and hopping back on the bag, over there's Mayo. Morgan waiting. Now the 1-1. Swung on and missed. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Morgan, he has started 5 games at first base, couple of games at second, couple of games at third. As we mentioned, tonight is his first game playing at shortstop. And he's also had 6 games played at catcher. Ground ball to second, could be 2. They flip it to Ibar for 1, back to first, in time for the double play. So Morgan grounds into the 4-6-3 twin killing. Now there's 2 outs, and it brings up Neb Brown.
Second baseman, number 13.
Brown, who is the only left-handed hitter in the lineup tonight for manager Wally Bankman. Couple of hits last night. He was 2 for 4. Both of his hits went for doubles.
He's a sexy hot hitter.
And with his hits last night, Brown is now hit in a season-high 8 games. Remember, he had a 7-game streak that was snapped earlier in the year, but now he's hit in 8 and takes the first pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Over the 8-game streak, he has 11 hits and 30 at-bats, which is a .366 average, as the pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. He drove in a run last night to give him 15 on the year, but for Neb, though he's been hitting a lot, he's not been driving in the runs. The pitch outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, his RBI that he had in the game here last night was his first RBI in the last 7 games. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Big chopper over the mound. Ibar has it behind the bag. Weird off-balance throw. Got him. Nice play by Ibar. Both took kind of a funny hop. The second hop back there behind the base, and he's able to hang with it and make the play. JetHawks gone here in the second. No runs, a hit, and nobody left. We're done with 2 at the hangar. We'll go to the third. JetHawks 3, Quakes 1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
This is Rodney Jacobson, branch manager with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. For most people, finding a new home is often the most exciting and easiest part of home buying. But how do you go about choosing a lender? Well, that's easy too. With Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, you get all the resources of one of the nation's leading lenders working with you one-on-one in your own neighborhood. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to move up, experienced Wells Fargo Home Mortgage consultants will carefully guide you through their complete selection of mortgage choices. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage also offers flexible down payments and closing options, all designed to get your family into a home today. It's your single source for total home buying, service, and solutions. Call Wells Fargo Home Mortgage in Lancaster today at 945-3682, 945-3682. At Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, we build dreams, not barriers.
Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender.
Ready? Okay. Supreme Cheer proudly presents Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley's very first cheer clinic and exhibition, May 22nd and 23rd at JetHawks Stadium. Clinic participants get a taste of learning, practicing, and performing new routines. Plus, they'll build self-confidence heading into the upcoming cheer season. All ages are welcome, no experience necessary, and each participant gets a free T-shirt with paid registration of just $25. For more info on this exciting cheer clinic and exhibition, call 942-1121. That's 942-1121.
Back with you at the hangar tonight as we go to the third inning. JetHawks up 3-1. And Clint Gucher will work to the number 9 hitter in the order, B.J. Weed for the Quakes. Then back up to the top, Reggie Willits and Eric Ibar all do up.
Number 4, B.J. Weed.
Weed hitting .313 as he'll step in here for his first at-bat tonight. And Weed, last night, one of the two guys on the Quakes order who, even though they had 17 runs on 17 hits, BJ did not have a sniff as the pitch is up high, ball one ball and no strikes. Weed 0 for 5 last night, struck out once. Gucher's 1-0, lined along the right field line. That's going to go foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Not only did Weed go hitless last night, he's hitless in the series now as well, as he is 0 for 9 over the 2 games here. The 1-1. This is down and in, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. So 2-1, Gucher ready, comes right back, working fairly quickly. Off-speed breaking ball that BJ tries to turn on and comes up empty. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 as Gucher ready again, comes home with the next one. It's lifted to left. Jackson went back. Now he's got to come up, and Connor's there and makes the catch. Well, didn't quite travel as far, I think, as Connor thought it was originally when it left the bat of B.J. Weed, but it's a fly out nonetheless. That's 5 in a row retired by Clint Gucher. And we'll go back to the top of the order now with Reggie Willits. Willits grounded out his first time up, as he is 0 for 1. Willits 1 for 4 last night, 1 for 4 in the opener as well. Tries to bunt, but leaves it in Avlis's glove. It'll cost him a strike, and it's 0-1. Remember, tomorrow night is Jim Slayton bobblehead night. The 0-1 pitch. Turned on by Willits, hits it well foul. Never really had a chance to ever be fair as it lands on the roof of the clubhouse for the Quakes down in the left field corner. It's 0-2. Jim Slayton bobblehead night with the High Desert Mavericks in town tomorrow. Make sure you get your tickets, get here early. Make sure you get yourself your Jim Slayton bobblehead. 0-2 pitch on the corner, strike 3 called. Well, Gucher's got that outside corner painted. That's 4 strikeouts for Clint. And there's 2 outs here in the third, and it brings up Eric Ibar. Slayton will be here tomorrow night. He had told me when the umpire was here in town a couple of weeks ago, he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to be here or not. But he has cleared his schedule to come back. Ground ball up the middle. Morgan makes the play behind the bag, gets to his feet and throws him out. Great play by Matt Morgan. Throws at the speedy Ibar as Morgan makes the play, and that's the Quakes gone in order for the second inning in a row. They go 1, 2, 3, and we will go to the bottom of the third. JetHawks leading 3-1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Yeah! Woohoo! Good game! Yeah, let's get a little cheering going, people. Come on, people, let's go.
Nice air horn. Well, let me guess, you don't have the SBC Smart Yellow Pages, huh?
Nah, I got this other phone book. Works fine. Not a lot of ads for sporting goods, though.
That would explain that awesome little horn there.
I think it carries well.
For the most complete, reliable information around, look for the SBC Smart Yellow Pages or go to smartpages.com.
Hey, Aquadog, aren't we going to JetHawks Stadium on June 25th?
Yes, Wesley, for Water Awareness Night. And guess who's joining us there? L.A. County Water Works and Roseman Community Services District.
What for?
Wesley, we're all concerned about water and want everyone to use water wisely and have fun at the game, too.
Oh, yeah, water. Let's have fun. Meet us at JetHawks Stadium June 25th for Water Awareness Night.
Ready? Okay. Supreme Cheer proudly presents Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley's very first cheer clinic and exhibition, May 22nd and 23rd at JetHawks Stadium. Clinic participants get a taste of learning, practicing, and performing new routines. Plus, they'll build self-confidence heading into the upcoming cheer season. All ages are welcome, no experience necessary, and each participant gets a free T-shirt with paid registration of just $25. For more info on this exciting cheer clinic and exhibition, call 942-1121. That's 942-1121.
Well, a great play by Matt Morgan in the top of the third inning. As the JetHawks will come up leading 3-1. Matt Ball will, Jared Ball will lead it off. Here as we go to the bottom of the third, the first pitch from Saunders over for a strike, and it's 0-1. In case you missed it in the open, in the pregame show, Brendan Donnelly will pitch to 2 innings in rehab tonight for the Angels. As the pitch hit foul over off the first base side. It's 0-2 on Jared Ball. Donnelly got here fairly early today, about 3 o'clock, and went through all his pregame routines to get back in shape and get back to work for the Anaheim Angels, and hopefully before too long. 1-2, the 0-2 pitch to a ball. This is up high. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outfield straight away against Jared. Saunders ready. The 1-2 pitch popped up. Short right center. Going out is Pankovic. Still going out, and it drops behind him. Ball going to second. He'll be in there with a dive. Pankovic looked back all of a sudden like something had called him off. As the ball just fell behind him. So ball ends up in second base, and it brings up Doc Brooks. Brooks flew out to right field his first time up. So nice hustle by Jared Ball to end up at second base. And now Brooks will give, and Jackson and Quinton will try to pick him up. That's 5 hits for the JetHawks off of Saunders already. And the pitch to Brooks, a breaking pitch for a strike. Ibar was breaking toward the bag and was standing at second base when Saunders came home. So a little bit of miscommunication there by the infield and the pitcher for the Quakes. And recognizing that, Ryan Buddy, the catcher, walks out to the mound to say something to Saunders. So Saunders ready again, looks back at second base and comes home. Broken bat roller toward Porter. They'll hold Jared at second base. Throw across in time to get Brooks for the first out. So 1 out, and brings up Connor Jackson, who singled his first time up.
Number 30, Connor Jackson.
So here's Connor, 1 for 1 tonight. Jackson rolled the ball right back up through the middle into center field to extend a hitting streak out to 4 games. As Saunders sets at the belt, looks back at ball, comes home to Connor. And the breaking ball in the outside corner for a strike. Saunders, who is 22, was born in Falls Church, Virginia. Now makes his home down in Florida in Titusville. He's a former first-round pick of the Angels. A couple of years ago, back in 2002. Didn't play at all last year as he was injured on the DL the entire season. The 0-1. Hit foul back to the screen. It's 0-2 on Jackson. He was the 12th pick overall by the Angels in 2002. Went to school at Virginia Tech University. That's up in Blacksburg, Virginia. Went to high school in Virginia before finally moving to Florida. Now makes his home in Titusville, as we mentioned. So 0-2 the count on Connor Jackson with one out here in the third. As again, they try to sneak in behind Jared. The pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sanders will turn 23 years of age in June. So a former first-round pick, and obviously the Angels thinking very high of him, hoping he can bounce back from injury from last year. Next pitch to Jackson, hit off the fist, but it lines it toward left center field. Coming over, not be able to get it. It's off the wall. Weed has to play it back in. Ball coming to the plate. He will score. Jackson to second base in safely. So an RBI double for Connor Jackson to make it 4-1. As here is Carlos Quinton. Quinton lined the ball over the left center field fence his first time up.
Sir, are you a season ticket holder? No, but I got tickets through this whole time. For how long? Through the home. Oh, that's very good. Enjoy the game, sir. Man, you too.
So here is Quinton.
You guys love to come back. They told me to come back.
Carlos, with that home run, has hit his team-leading 6th of the year, and that's going to move him up into the upper echelon in the league. Of course, Napoli now with 9 leads the league in home runs. As a pitch hit foul back to the screen, it's 0-1. Dan Trimble and David Gates both have 8. And Michael Johnson with 6, and now Carlos Quinton joins that group at 6 home runs also with the home run here tonight. As Saunders bluffs back to second base and Jackson pops on the bag. Now stretching comes home, the 0-1 pitch to Quinton, misses outside. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So we mentioned Carlos had a 10-game hitting streak that was snapped on April the 27th. It was in the first game of the series up in Modesto when he was held hitless. Now the 1-1. That's rolled foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Carlos was being hit last night. As we mentioned, now has been hit 16 times. Not only that, but he's also been hit 8 times in the last 8 games. Pitch home to Quinton. Hit in the air toward left field. This one's playable. Weed, who was playing very deep, has got to come up and make the play. As BJ was almost standing on the warning track. He was playing that deep against Carlos Quinton. So that's the second out. Now here's Jamie D'Antona. D'Antona, who followed Quinton's home run with one of his own. Also his 6th of the year. As they went back-to-back, that's the first time this year the JetHawks have hit back-to-back home runs. As the pitch misses outside, ball 1 ball and no strikes. Jesus Cota, who's not in the lineup tonight with a left-hander on the mound for Rancho. He had 2 home runs here last night as the pitch is swung on and missed by Jamie. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The JetHawks now have 3 players who have homered twice in a game. but until tonight had never hit back-to-back home runs. Those 2 home runs tonight as well, as D'Antona lines one foul along the right field line. It's now 1-2. The 2 home runs give the JetHawks a total of 31 on the year. They've hit 22 of the 31 here. But remember, they had played early on a very heavily home schedule during the first couple of weeks of April. D'Antona loops one toward right center, coming up in a hurry, but not getting there is Sugden, as Connor Jackson will come in to score to make it 5-1 on a flare single by Jamie D'Antona. So 2 runs in the inning for the JetHawks on 3 hits. Inning not over yet, is now here is Phil Atlas. Phil 0 for 1, flew out his first time up back in the first inning. As we mentioned, however, during his first at-bat, Phil leading the league in hitting again. Runs one past the mound. Ibar has it on a couple of hops. He'll just calmly walk over and step on the bag, and the inning comes to an end. But the JetHawks get 2 more on 3 hits. They leave one in the inning as well. We're done with 3 at the hangar. We'll go to the 4th. JetHawks 5, Quakes 1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Got debt? Are creditors harassing you with constant phone calls? Have you recently been hit with a garnishment, lawsuit, or judgment? If you have any of these problems, a bankruptcy may be the solution. Attorney Antico dedicates his law practice exclusively to bankruptcy. While a BK is not a solution for everyone, it may be the one for you. Call Attorney Antico. Toll free 800-227-2947 or log on to avbankruptcy.com for a free consultation.
Burns Pharmacy in downtown Lancaster is your one-stop home health care center, and they've been serving the Valley for over 50 years. Sometimes we all need a little helping hand, and Burns Pharmacy has mobility products by Pride and a full selection of bathroom equipment with handles to give us that little extra help that we all need from time to time. Burns Pharmacy at 866 Lancaster Boulevard is the only stop you'll ever need to make. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 9 to 6 on Saturday, or visit their website at www.burnsrxpharmacy.com.
Ready? Okay. Supreme Cheer proudly presents Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley's very first cheer clinic and exhibition, May 22nd and 23rd at JetHawks Stadium. Clinic participants get a taste of learning, practicing, and performing new routines. Plus, they'll build self-confidence heading into the upcoming cheer season. All ages are welcome, no experience necessary, and each participant gets a free t-shirt with paid registration of just $25. For more info on this exciting cheer clinic and exhibition, call 942-1121. That's 942-1121.
Well, we're through 3 innings tonight. The JetHawks leading here by the score of 5-1. As 5 runs on 7 hits for the JetHawks. They've hit a pair of home runs tonight. Of course, the JetHawks who last night in the game, as Mike Napoli will lead it off here against Clint Gucher. The JetHawks last night established a new season high for extra base hits in a game. Lancaster, who had a total of 16 hits last night, 8 of them went for extra bases. Napoli up there, the first pitch, a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. So they had 8 extra base hits last night, and the JetHawks kind of rolled that number up already so far tonight as well. The 0-1 pitch over for a strike again. So they had home runs in the first inning from Quinton and D'Antona, that's 2. A double from Ball, a double from Jackson. Would be 4 of the 7 hits that gone for extra bases. As the pitch is hit foul over on the first base side of Napoli, the count stays at 0-2. Gucher has retired 7 in a row since the double by Abruzzo in the first inning. The 0-2 pitch. This is up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he's K'd 4 through that time, and he has not walked anybody on the evening as of yet either. Falls line. Nice play by Morgan into the hole to make the catch. Morgan leaves his feet and makes the play. If Morgan wasn't such a handy guy to have around, he might find a job at shortstop, but he can play everywhere. So nice play by Matt. Made one to his left, now makes one to his right. So here now is Jared Abruzzo. Butcher comes home, the first pitch breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Abruzzo, as we mentioned, doubled in the first inning, pulled the ball right down into the left field corner. Butcher ready again, comes home with a fastball that misses too far in this time, and it's 1-1 strike. Abruzzo's hit in 3 straight. Remember, he hasn't played much. He's just activated from the disabled list on May the 1st. As that pitch over for a strike, and it's now 1-2 strikes on Abruzzo. In fact, tonight is just the 4th game for Jared. And he's hit safely in each of the 3 games that he's been in. Now making 4 with his double in the first inning tonight as he rolls the ball foul over on the third base side. And it's 1-2 strikes on Jared Abruzzo. After tonight, the JetHawks and the Quakes will not see each other again until the middle of May, as Morgan not able to make that play, and safe at first base with his second hit of the game is Jared Abruzzo. So Morgan not able to make the play, and the Quakes have their third hit of the game. Now here's Greg Porter with 1 out. Porter struck out in the first inning. The Quakes will be back here May 24 through 27. And then the JetHawks will next go down to Rancho Cucamonga in June as part of what is the longest road trip in franchise history. It's 17 games. As a breaking ball, this is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Greg Porter. When the JetHawks go back down to Rancho in June, they'll be on TV again. Another chance for you to see the JetHawks live on television if you live up here in the Antelope Valley. As a breaking ball misses outside again, ball 2. That will be on Saturday, June the 12th, as the JetHawks will be playing at Rancho Cucamonga. And if you have Adelphia Cable here in the Valley, as Porter rolls one into right field, that'll be a base hit. Quinton up to get it in a hurry, fires the ball back in as Abruzzo stops at second base.
Number 6.
So 2 hits in the inning. And now here's Ryan Buddy. If you have Adelphia Cable here in the Antelope Valley, you'll be able to see that game on the KVMD television, which is channel 29 on your cable here locally. And unfortunately for the folks listening on the internet, the out-of-state folks that are joining us tonight, that the ball bounces at home plate. Avalos kept it in front of him, but he wasn't sure where it was at. It goes as a wild pitch, and both runners will move up 90 feet. So Abruzzo goes to second. Abruzzo to third, Porter to second. And it's a wild pitch charged against Clint Gucci. The ball's in the dirt. Avalos made the stop. Wasn't sure where the ball was at as it bounced high in the air. He thought he'd gone to the backstop. Rolled right out in front of home plate, and Gucci had to come down and pick it up. But both runners had moved up before Clint could pick up the ball. Pitch to Buddy over for a strike. I kept my eye on the runner going to third base, Abruzzo. Now that I look at it, Porter never left first base. So there's runners at the corners. The 1-1 popped up. Behind third, Morgan. Ball up in the wind. Matt making the play, and that's the second out of the inning. So there's 2 out. And that brings up the second baseman tonight, Adam Petkovic. Petkovic, who did not play here last night. He did play in the opener as he played third base here on Tuesday night, and he went 0 for 4. As a breaking pitch misses inside, ball 1. Hit a ball hard his first time up, but he hit it right at Jamie D'Antone over there at third base. So he's 0 for 1 tonight, 0 for 5 in the trip here to Lancaster. Hits the ball in the air towards center. Ball going back, still giving ground at the wall. Makes the play for the out. Adam got under it just a little bit, and Jared Ball chased it back near the 4:10 mark, but makes the play for the out anyway, and the Quakes are gone. No runs, 2 hits and 2 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. JetHawks 5, Quakes 1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Race fans, start your engine. Don't miss your chance to get a behind-the-scenes look at the new 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Dodge Dealers Intrepid. This is the Evernham Motorsports race car, like the one Casey Kane drives in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, and it can be seen at Hunter Dodge this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is not just a simple show car. This red Dodge Dealers Intrepid arrives just as it appears on track. The car can run at more than 200 miles per hour and includes the safety equipment mandated by NASCAR. Even the race engine is authentic and has output of more than 700 horsepower. Don't miss your chance to see, touch, and photograph the new 2004 Dodge Dealers Intrepid race car at Hunter Dodge in the Lancaster Auto Mall this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley are teaming up to bring you another season of exciting JetHawks baseball. Friday night, it's the Jim Slayton Bobblehead Doll Giveaway presented by 103.1 KTPI. Then on Saturday, 105.5 The Oasis brings you another fun-filled appearance by the Superstars. And don't forget to listen to exciting JetHawks baseball on Community Radio 1340 AM and CommunityRadio1340.com. It's high-flying fun with the Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley.
Bottom of the 4th inning, JetHawks up 5-1. As tonight's What Would You Do for $50 night here at the hangar, and we have people doing different activities, walking around trying to sell tickets, dressed up in all kinds of different garb, and say what exactly they would do for $50. Want to know what the next upcoming promotions are? Well, you can find out for yourself by checking out the JetHawks website, www.jethawks.com. Click on the promotion schedule, see what promotions are coming up, which ones you'd like to be a part of, and then order your tickets right there online as well, as the first pitch is bunted by Santana, and it's foul up along the third base line, and it's 0-1. Once again, it's www.jethawks.com. So 0-1 the count on Mayo Santana. Santana singled to left his first time up. And for Mayo, who hadn't played much at all over the last week or so, not in the last 5 games in there for the first time, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. We do also have the pitchers now for the Mavericks series, as the pitch to Santana, again outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Tomorrow night, it's Adam Bass who will go to the mound against the Mavs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's down low, ball 3, it's 3-1. Bass will go up against Eric Henderson. Bass is 2-0 on the year, Henderson 0-2. Then on Saturday, Keith Watley, 1-2 on the year, goes to the mound for the JetHawks. The 2-1 pitch to Santana, hit foul off the first base side. And Manny Parra will get the start for the JetHawks. Or check that, for the Mavericks, I should say. He'll come off the disabled list. He's been on the DL all year with High Desert, but hasn't been there at all. As the pitch is high to Santana, Mayo draws a walk here to lead off in the bottom of the 4th. So Santana walks.
The shortstop, number 9, Matt Morgan.
And to bring up Matt Morgan. Morgan getting a little hand from the crowd. I think he may have some fans as a shortstop here already. Morgan's got a bunt. Good bunt. Gets it down. Buddy down to get it. Dropped it. Lost the play. Everybody's safe. As Buddy tried to blame it on the base umpire to say, well, I looked and he was standing in my way. He couldn't make the throw. The only problem is that Buddy never had the ball. So Buddy loses the play. Runners at first and second for the JetHawks. Nobody out. It'll be a bunt single for Morgan. Out here's Neb Brown with 2 on and nobody out. Brown grounded out, but it took a great play by the shortstop, Eric Ibar, to get him back in the second inning. Saunders ready. Neb shows bunt, takes the pitch outside. Ball 1 ball with no strikes. Well, I remember yesterday we were talking about how Major League Baseball had approved the idea of putting logos for the new Spider-Man 2 movie coming out on bases during the games of a set of weekend games coming up in June. Well, today, as a fastball high, look out, throw back to second base, is into center field. Santana's going to third, Morgan to second on the throwing error. Charge to the catcher, Buddy. The pitch was up and in to get Neb out of the way. Buddy then fired the ball back to second base, and he threw it into the runner, where it actually went between Santana's legs and out into center field. So Mayo goes to second base, check that to third base, and moving up very alertly was Morgan, even with the play right in front of him. So runners in scoring position for the JetHawks. First error of the game goes to Rancho. And the pitch home to Brown. Look out, that's inside. Spins Neb around and gets him out of there, and it's 3-0. Remember, Brown's hitting in the number 9 spot in the lineup tonight, so the leadoff hitter, Jared Ball, waits on deck. Anyway, today, baseball reversed their decision and decided, no, we're not going to put the logos on the bases after all. 3-0 pitch is hit toward right field and hit well. Going back, Sugden at the wall, leaps, can't get it, is gone. 3-run home run for Neb Brown. It's 8-1 JetHawks. Sugden tried to time his leap, but he couldn't do it. As Brown hits it out over the 385 sign in right center field, it's a 3-run home run. The JetHawks lead 8-1. So the only left-handed hitter in the game tonight for the JetHawks hits their third home run of the night. Now here is Jared Ball. Still nobody out in the inning. The first pitch is a fastball that's high, ball 1. 1 ball with no strikes. So Ball waiting. Here comes the 1-0. It's down and in from Saunders. 2 balls and no strikes. Neb hits his 4th home run of the year, and the 3 RBIs gives him 18. Next pitch to Jared. That's breaking ball over for a strike. And it's 2-1. There's the 2-1 offering. It's pulled just foul. Well, Jared thought he had a double. To be honest with you, so did I. But the plate umpire, Dave Sparling, quickly on the call, immediately called it foul. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember, Brendan Donnelly scheduled to work for in rehab tonight for the Angels, but I don't see him down there. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. So Jared strikes out for the first out of the inning. That's just the first strikeout tonight for Saunders.
Now batting the in-and-out double hitter.
So that'll bring up Doc Brooks, 0 for 2. Flew out, grounded out tonight. As Doc up there now for the 3rd time on the evening. So 3 runs in the inning home for the JetHawks. The only time they didn't score was in the 2nd. after Morgan had rolled into a double play. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch misses just off the outside edge, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't see Donnelly sitting down there in the bullpen. He might be in the dugout as the 1-1 pitch is on the corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. Donnelly, who pitched 1 inning on Monday, scheduled to throw 2 here tonight. At some point, whatever some point is going to be, when it's 8-1, as the pitch is inside, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saunders giving up the 8 runs. That is a high water mark coming into this game. The 2-2 pitch misses inside, runs the count full. In fact, coming into the game here tonight, he had only given up a total of 10 runs in his previous 5 starts. And he had given up 5 in a losing effort to San Jose. But this certainly his roughest outing of the year so far. Ground ball to short. Ibar watches that into his glove, straightens and throws out Brooks for the second out. So there's 2 outs. And now here's Connor Jackson.
Left fielder, number 30, Connor Jackson.
So here's Connor with 2 outs. Jackson tonight singled, doubled, drove home a run, and he has scored twice. So the first pitch misses outside, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. As the pitch to Jackson is fouled away at home plate, and it's 1-1. Now they change, now they update the scoreboard. It's actually 0-2 on Jackson. And the 0-2 pitch, this is down low. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1-2. Saunders, 1-2 pitch to Connor. Inside corner, it's strike 3 called. So Jackson strikes out. JetHawks gone here in the 4th, but they get 3 runs on 2 hits. The big blow, the 3-run home run by Ned Brown. And we are done with 4 innings tonight. We'll go to the 5th. JetHawks 8, Quakes 1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
The best value, just around the corner. Penny Saver.
The Penny Saver, California's best read publication, knows that traffic is always an issue in Southern California, and that's hard on you and your car. And if it's time for a new or pre-owned car, there's no better place to buy or sell than Penny Saver's Car Mart section. And now you can search online at pennysaverusa.com for one of the greatest selections of quality pre-owned cars from local dealers. Look in the Penny Saver for great local values on auto services, featuring everything from insurance to oil changes, tires to smog checks, and tune-ups to transmissions. It's all in the Penny Saver. The Penny Saver, where the best values are just around the corner, and pennysaverusa.com, where the best values are just a click away.
The best value, just around the corner. Penny Saver.
Check Penny Saver's Car Mart section today.
The Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley are teaming up to bring you another season of exciting JetHawks baseball. Friday night, it's the Jim Slayton Bobblehead Doll Giveaway presented by 103.1 KTVI. Then on Saturday, 105.5 The Oasis brings you another fun-filled appearance by the Superstars. And don't forget to listen to exciting JetHawks baseball on Community Radio 1340 AM and CommunityRadio1340.com. It's high-flying fun with the Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley.
Well, thanks to 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, Quinn Gucher now staked to a 7-run lead as he goes to work 8-1 here in the 5th. As Guchers will work to Jason Sugden First pitch popped up along the right field line. A trio of JetHawks giving chase, and it's going to fall fair right in between them. Going to second base is Sugden with a flare double along the line. Just right in that perfect spot where nobody could get to it. So here comes B.J. Weed with the leadoff man aboard. Weed, 0 for 1, flew out to left his first time up. Anyway, Bud Selig today said really there's no use having a big debate about it. And Selig, who describes himself as so far as a baseball traditionalist, and when all the outcry over the people upset with the idea of putting logos on the bags, ground ball to second, short hop by Brown, who will get the out at first base, but Sugden goes over to second. That's the first out, and Sugden now at third base. Go back to the top of the order, and Reggie Willits. So with all the outcry, baseball has been under the direction of Bud Selig, reversed its decision and decided not to put ads on the bases. The plan began to crumble Wednesday night as the ball popped up in foul ground. Santana, right in front of the JetHawk dugout, makes the catch for the second out, and Willits leaves the man standing over at second base. Now there's 2 outs. And it brings up Eric Ibar. Last night, the Yankees said that they would only allow the ads on bases during batting practice, and only for one game of that scheduled weekend series. As a pitch to Ibar over for a strike. So the logos will not be on any bases in big league games, but what they will do, apparently, is they will put the logo for the Spider-Man 2 movie on the batting circles for at the Major League games on that weekend as well. So Sony still gets their promotion for the upcoming movie. As Ibar rolls one to the right side, Brown plugs the hole, waits for Santana to get to the bag, and throws out Ibar. So the leadoff double by Sugden, and they leave him standing out there on the bases. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th after 4.5 on the hanger. 8-1 JetHawks on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
American Medical Response is a proud sponsor of JetHawks Baseball. Each year, they strive to show their support in this great community through several different projects. Their service vision of patient-focused, customer-centered, and caregiver-inspired clearly states their intent to be the leader in ambulance transportation. Thanks to the hundreds of AMR employees who day in and day out help maintain the safety of all citizens in the Antelope Valley. American Medical Response, Antelope Valley's ambulance company. You know, everyone deserves a second chance. That's why we keep asking you to recycle your beverage containers. Yeah, it's not always convenient, and it's real easy to make up excuses. But the next time you reach for a bottle that's recyclable, just ask yourself, how will it end up in the recycling bin? With a plastic bottle, I'm thinking right now, jump shot. Please recycle your beverage containers because it's not trash. Sponsored by the City of Lancaster and funded by a grant from the California Department of Conservation.
The Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley are teaming up to bring you another season of exciting JetHawks baseball. Friday night, it's the Jim Slayton Bobblehead Doll Giveaway presented by 103.1 KTPI. Then on Saturday, 105.5 The Oasis brings you another fun-filled appearance by the Superstars. And don't forget to listen to exciting JetHawks baseball on Community Radio 1340 AM and CommunityRadio1340.com. It's high-flying fun with the Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley.
We go to the bottom of the 5th. JetHawks leading 8-1. Carlos Quentin will lead it off, followed by Jamie D'Antona and Phil Avalos due up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. See if we can get you caught up on some of the other games going on around baseball today. A lot of day games on this Thursday. A getaway day, in the big leagues. It took 11 innings today up in New York, but the Giants lose 2-1 to the New York Mets. 1-0 pitch to Quinton. Bounces up there. 2 balls and no strikes. Mike Piazza had a home run today for the Mets, his 6th of the year. St. Louis beat Philadelphia earlier today, 7-4. 2-0 pitch on the way to Carlos. Fastball that's high. Supan over Wolf. Isringhausen with the same. Luna had a home run today for St. Louis. Jim Tomei and Pat Burrow with home runs for those Fightin' Phils. As Quinton gets under a ball, hits it to center field. Willett's giving ground, still giving ground. Has a play just right at the edge of the track, makes the catch for the out. Well, Carlos hits it about 400 feet, but it's just allowed out. That'll bring up Jamie D'Antona. Padres moved into first place for a short time today when they beat the Atlanta Braves this morning back in Atlanta. 7-3 the final. Here's D'Antona. First pitch to Jamie inside. San Diego beat Atlanta 7-3. Brian Lawrence upped his record to 4-2. They beat Mike Hampton. Hampton now 0-3 on the year with the Braves. Next pitch misses outside. It's 2-0. Khalil Green and Jay Payton both had first inning home runs today for San Diego. As D'Antona rifles one toward right field. Sugden going back, leaps, and this one's going to be off the wall. D'Antona goes to second. He will stay there. It's a one-out double here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Number 8.
So D'Antona with his 3rd hit of the game, lacking only a triple for the cycle. So here comes Phil Avalos with 1 out. Avalos 0 for 2, flew out, hit into a fielder's choice. And with 1 out, Sugden in a little heap of trouble again. First pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Houston beat Pittsburgh 5-2. Wade Miller beat Chris Benson. Miller now 4-2 on the year. The Diamondbacks were playing in Chicago, looking for a sweep of the Cubs, but they wouldn't get it. As the pitch to Avalos hit foul off the first base side, it's 0-2. The Cubs beat the Diamondbacks today 11-3, thanks in part to a 5-run 5th inning. Matt Clement, the winner. He is now 5-1 on the year. Just 1 home run at Wrigley Field today. Derek Lee, the former Quake, hit his 4th of the year. The 0-2 pitch hit foul. Count stays at no balls and 2 strikes. The Dodgers, well, they kept their half of the first place in the National League West. They beat Florida today 9-4. Kaz Ishii wins his 5th of the year. They beat Dontrell Willis, who is now 3-1. 0-2 pitch again to Avalos. Fastball that's high. Sean Green hit 2. Milton Bradley had 1. And Juan Encarnacion hit his 5th of the year against his old team. As the Dodgers are able to pick up a win tonight. Saunders ready again. Here comes the 1-2. Ground ball toward the hole. Ibar smothers, gets up, tries to make the play, does not have a play. And safe at first is Phil Avalos. So Phil has his first hit of the game. And it'll bring up Mayo Bannock Santana. Mayo singled, walked, scored a run. As Saunders ready, again comes home, and the pitch is hit foul off of the first base side. So 0-1 the count on Mayo. Montreal beat Colorado today 3-1. Levon Hernandez beat Seth Ellerton. No home runs in that game up in Montreal. And Cincinnati, a 9-6 winner over Milwaukee. As Mayo again hits the ball foul off the first base side. Jones over Bennett. Danny Graves with his 12th save. Bill Hall hit his second home run of the year today for Milwaukee. And Ken Griffey had his fourth today for the Cincinnati Reds. Kind of a limited schedule tonight as far as the American League is concerned. The 0-2 pitch to Santana rolled just foul outside of the bag. Actually, in the bullpen for the Quakes, as getting loose down there is James Carroll. The 0-2 pitch to Santana, lifted in the air to center. Willits has to go back. He doesn't see the ball. He has no idea where it's at. It falls about 30 feet to his right. Coming home to score is D'Antona. Avila stops at second base on a long RBI single by Mayo Santana, his second hit of the game. And it's 9-1. Willis took about 3 steps back and then put up the international sign for help as he put his hand straight out at his side and looked to somebody to give him a hand. He was standing in straightaway center field. The ball landed over toward left center, about 30 or 35 feet to his right. By the time he could get it back in, D'Antona come home to score, and Santana had his second hit of the game. Bobby Meacham to the mound. A pitching change here for the Quakes, as Saunders will leave, having allowed almost as many runs he had so far all year. He's given up 9, but he's still responsible for the 2 men on base. We'll take a timeout, come back, and we'll tell you about the pitcher coming in for Rancho after this on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
You know, the goal of baseball is to get home quickly. The last thing you want to see is some player lollygagging around third when there's going to be a close play at the plate. Well, Farmer John feels the same way about ham, bacon, sausage, and hot dogs. You know all of Farmer John's products are made fresh right here in the Southland. That way they get to home as quickly as possible, and it's just a short slide into the plate. That's your plate at home, not home plate. Get fresh. Get Farmer John.
Good news, JetHawk fans. First City Credit Union is open to everyone who lives or works in the Antelope Valley. That means you can enjoy great loan and deposit rates, cost-saving checking, and friendly personalized credit union service. Real estate loans, too. Visit our new Lancaster branch at 1103 West Avenue K at the Target Center, or call 877-673-6868. First City, Antelope Valley's Credit Union. Call us at 877-673-6868. Deposits federally insured.
The Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley are teaming up to bring you another season of exciting JetHawks baseball. Friday night, it's the Jim Slayton Bobblehead Doll Giveaway presented by 103.1 KTPI. Then on Saturday, 105.5 The Oasis brings you another fun-filled appearance by the Superstars. And don't forget to listen to exciting JetHawks baseball on Community Radio 1340 AM and CommunityRadio1340.com. It's high-flying fun with the Lancaster JetHawks and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley. You're listening to Lancaster JetHawks Baseball on Community Radio 1340 AM, KTPI AM Mojave.
So James Carroll comes in to pick up with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. As Carroll, the right-hander, will face Matt Morgan with 2 men on and 1 out. First pitch to Matt, over for a strike, and it's 0-1. For Carroll, making his 5th appearance, he's 1-0 at 8.31 ERA. He's worked in a total of 4 1/3 innings coming into the game here tonight, giving up 5 runs, 4 earned on 10 hits. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses down and away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Sanders goes 4 1/3, gives up 12 hits, 9 runs thus far, but he can't close the book on him totally yet, as he's still responsible for the men on base. The 1-1. This is outside. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. He also walked 1 and struck out 2. So Joe Saunders, a rough start in his first ever time facing the Lancaster JetHawks. The 2-1. Outside and low again, ball 3. Neb Brown, who had a 3-run home run his last time up, standing on deck. On the American League side of the scoreboard, they're in the 4th inning in Seattle. The Twins leading 1-0 over the Mariners. They're in the 3rd in Oakland. It's the Yankees 4, Oakland 3. 3-1 pitch, rolled foul. Sounded like Morgan broke the bat, and he's headed back to the dugout, so he'll go get a new bat, and he'll come back up there and have a 3-2 count. Tampa Bay playing in Anaheim against the Angels, and Tampa Bay got 2 runs in the top of the 1st inning, and right now it's 2-1. The Angels trailing Tampa Bay. One final in the American League to tell you about. Boston beat Cleveland earlier today 5-2. As Pedro Martinez picked up his 4th win of the year. He's 4-2. He beat CC Sabathia, who is now 1-1 on the year. Keith Folk had the save, hit number 6 on the season. Manny Ramirez had a home run for the Bo Sox. He hit number 7. Matt Lawton hit number 6 today for the Indians. 3-2 pitch to Morgan. Check swing. He holds up. The bases are loaded. So Morgan walks to load the bases. Avalos goes to the 3rd. Santana to 2nd. And down to 1st goes Morgan. Now here's Neb Brown. Brown with that 3-run home run in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the first pitch to Neb misses inside, ball 1. 1 ball with no strikes. So 9 runs on 12 hits for the JetHawks. They've been helped along by just a couple of walks here tonight. And Clint Gucher's been sitting around a while, so he wants to go down to the bullpen and play catch. As the next pitch is inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. The JetHawks with 3 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, and 3 in the 4th. Have 1 run here in the bottom of the 5th inning to make it 9-1. 2-0 pitch. Misses inside again, ball 3. No place to put him. And you have to throw him a pretty good pitch. As Neb Brown will certainly be looking dead red fastball here against Carroll. Carroll last worked on Saturday. As the fastball over for a strike, it's 3-1. He pitched 1 inning on Saturday against Inland Empire. He gave up 2 hits, an unearned run, and struck out 1. If there's a bad sign to the stat line for Carroll, it would be this. As the pitch hit foul off the first base side, it's 0-2. Every time Carroll has come in, the first batter that he faced has gotten on base. They were 4 for 4 against him, and now here tonight, Matt Morgan walked. Carroll ready. Here's a 3-2 pitch to Brown. Hit foul off the third base side. So they come in out of the bullpen for relief. Usually they need you to pick up right away and do a good job right from jump. And Carroll, unfortunately, has not been able to do that in his games coming in out of the pen. Three balls and 2 strikes still on Neb. He stands at home plate. Now Carroll stretches, comes home the 3-2 pitch. It's driven toward left center field. Going over is Willits. There in the gap, able to make the play underneath the message center. Fires it back in. And now the ball gets away from Ibar. 1 run will score. Stopping at third is Santana. Runners at first and third and 2 outs. And on the scoring fly ball, Brown picks up his 4th RBI of the night and makes it 10-1. So back to the top of the order, and Jared Ball due up. Ball doubled, scored, struck out, and grounded out tonight. We told you that Bakersfield beat San Jose today 2-0 in a day game up at Municipal Stadium. Pitched the ball, rolled toward the right side. Right between the legs of Pankovic. That'll get Santana home on the air. The second error of the game against the Quakes. As Morgan stops at second base. So Jared reaches on the air as Mayo Bannock Santana comes in to make it 11-1. Now here is Doc Brooks, 0 for 3. Brooks is the only guy in the lineup who is yet to reach base tonight. First pitch swung on and missed. Snap throw from Buddy back to first base. Jared ball back to the bag. Brooks is flown out and grounded out twice, 0 for 3. Two on, two out, 3-run home in the inning. Carroll on in relief of Joe Saunders. The pitch is inside and hits Doc Brooks, so the bases will be loaded again. So the bases loaded. It's going to bring up Connor Jackson. So Carroll has come in and has given up a walk, a scoring fly ball, an error, and now a hit batter. And now here is Jackson, the ninth man to hit in the inning. Connor took a called third strike that ended last inning. Now he's up there with 2 outs and the bases loaded. The first pitch, a little breaking ball. It's over for a strike. Other games around the Cal League tonight, Visalia got 2 runs in the third, leading at Modesto 2-0. Just underway, really, in High Desert at last report, scoreless after an inning. And Inland Empire got a run in the top of the second. They lead 1-0. Now playing in the third inning at Billy Hebert Field in Stockton. 0-1 the count on Connor Jackson. The 0-1 pitch is hit in the air toward left field. Going back on the ball is Weed. It is gone. A grand slam for Connor Jackson. The second grand slam home run of the year for the JetHawks. 4 more runs home in the inning, and it's 15-1. So Jackson hits the slam. River D'Antona had one on Sunday down over in High Desert. 7 runs home in the inning for the JetHawks. And now here's Carlos Quentin, who started this inning when he flew out to center field, but took Willits all the way back to the warning track. Big chopper, they're going to be foul. That's off Carlos's foot. And it's 0-1. So in the inning, D'Antona doubled, Avila singled, Santana singled home a run. Morgan then walked after Carroll came in to replace Joe Saunders. With the bases loaded, Ned Brown had a scoring fly ball to pick up a run. Jared Ball reached on an error to score another. Doc Brooks was hit by a pitch, and then Connor Jackson just unloads on a grand slam. As the pitch up high, 1 ball and 1 strike now on Carlos Quentin. The 1-1 pitch, slider misses outside. So it's 2 balls and a strike. 15 runs on 13 hits for the JetHawks. Quakes have committed 2 errors, one of them here in this inning. As the pitch to Jackson or to Quentin over for a strike, and it's 2-2. Carlos homered in the first inning tonight as well. Now the 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Got it out in front of an off-speed breaking pitch as Quentin strikes out, and the JetHawks are gone here in the 5th inning. But they send 10 men to the plate. 6 of them come home to score. As we are done with 5 innings tonight, we'll go to the 6th. It's the JetHawks 15, the Quakes 1 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full-court, men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you've got to play. And you can't win if you don't sign up, so do it now. Call 661-942-1121.
Pick up your Hoop World entry form at Sports Chalet in Palmdale, Coach's Sports Bar and Grill, Vallarta Supermarkets in Lancaster and Palmdale.
Hoop World, presented by Robertson Fonda Honda and Clear Channel Radio, Antelope Valley.
When you have a non-life-threatening injury or illness, you want treatment today. Quartz Hill Walk-In can help. No appointment is necessary, and you'll always see a board-certified physician when you visit. Their medical staff is trained in internal medicine, family practice, and emergency medicine. Quartz Hill Walk-In is open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekends. Quartz Hill Walk-In is on the corner of 50th Street West and L8, or call 943-6455. That's 943-6455. Some things never change. S&S Home Furnishings, for instance, after 20 years, still means selection and service. With the best names in the business like Broyhill, Flexhill, Pulaski, and Sealy. The dedicated staff at S&S knows where to look for the style and price range you want. So buying furniture is never a gamble, it's a sure thing at S&S Home Furnishings, where easy financing is yours on approved credit. S&S Home Furnishings, downtown Lancaster, on Lancaster Boulevard next to B of A.
So the JetHawks score 7 times in the bottom of the 5th inning. And as we go here to the 6th, the defensive replacement for the JetHawks is Brandon Simon's going to go in left field. So Simon goes into Connor Jackson's spot, as Connor will take the rest of the night off. So Brandon Simon now in left. Mike Napoli leads it off against Clint Gucher, who sat around for a long time in that inning, as the first pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Napoli's homeward, lined out, 1 for 2. Little fly ball to center. Brown, ball rather going back, still going back at the wall, can't get it. Ball bounces off the wall, rolls back toward the infield. Simon over to get it in a hurry, fires it back in. It'll be a straight triple for Mike Napoli as he triples off the outfield fence.
Number 29, Jared Abruzzo.
So here comes the Jared Abruzzo, who is 2 for 2 tonight with a chance to pick up the run here. 15 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the JetHawks. A run on 5 hits, now make it 6. And 2 errors tonight for Rancho Cucamonga, as we play here in the top of the 6th inning. As the pitch is inside, ball 1. 1 ball with no strikes. Well, let's see, that 7-run inning ties the season high for the JetHawks. They also rolled a 7, the second game of the year, against High Desert, as the 1-0 pitch misses inside, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 here on Abruzzo. Napoli down the line from third. Gucher ready. Pitch is swung on and missed. Ran it away from him. And Abruzzo came up empty. So Lancaster with 4 home runs tonight. As a pitch to Abruzzo misses just inside. Now it's 3-1. That also ties a season high. They hit 4 home runs on opening night. Also against the Mavericks. 3-1 offering. Pulled along the left field line. That's going to go foul. Land on the roof of the visitors' clubhouse down along the left field corner. Now it's 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Abruzzo will climb back in. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Leadoff triple by Mike Napoli as he stands over at third base. Time call as Abruzzo backs out for a moment. Now Reddian climbs back in. Goocher out of the stretch, comes home, the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. So Abruzzo strikes out. That's the 5th strikeout for Clint Goocher.
Number 8, Greg Porter.
And bring up the third baseman, Greg Porter, who is 1 for 2. Of course, Abruzzo, they haven't got him very much in this whole series, and to strike him out like that when the man in scoring position is a fairly big out. So here's Porter. First pitch to the third baseman, off-speed breaking ball. He is outside. Ball 1 ball and no strikes. Porter with 1 hit tonight, had a couple of hits here last night, plus a scoring fly ball, and drove in a total of 2 runs last night. Goocher's 1-0. Misses outside and low again, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The Cubs, who of course beat the Diamondbacks today, did actually receive some bad news. A ball lined along the right field line is going to be in for a hit. Napoli will jog home. Porter's going to second base. He's in there with a 1-out double, and it's now 15-2 JetHawks. So Napoli comes home. Second hit of the inning against Clint Goocher. Yeah, now here's Ryan Buddy. Buddy, 0 for 2, struck out, popped up. As Goocher will work out of the stretch with Porter with a walking lead from second. And the pitch misses inside, ball 1 ball and no strikes. The bad news the Cubs got today, even though they beat the Diamondbacks, their shortstop, Alex Gonzalez, is going to miss the next 6 to 8 weeks as the ball hit foul right down here in front of us. And it's 1-1 on Ryan Buddy. Gonzalez, who was hit in the game last night by Mike Koplov, as Buddy pulls one along the left field line. That too is foul, and it's 1-2. Sustained a broken wrist, did Gonzalez, and will be out in the next 6 to 8 weeks. What made it extra bad, as if bad isn't bad enough, made it worse, I should probably more correctly say, is Buddy swings and misses and strikes out. 2 outs, it brings up Adam Pankovic. The home plate umpire last night, Charlie Relaford, in that game in Chicago, ruled that Gonzalez was hit in the act of swinging, and ruled that Gonzalez resume his at-bat before striking out. Here's Pankovic. The first pitch misses inside, ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Pankovic, 2 outs, 1 run in here in the inning for the Quakes. JetHawks still leading handily, however, as the next pitch is pulled again down the line. And that the 2 is going to be well foul and well out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the mayor of Washington, D.C. met with baseball officials today. Baseball officials wanted to know where the money was going to come from for a new stadium to be built in the nation's capital, or a proposed stadium would be built if the Montreal Expos would move to Washington, D.C. So 1-1 pitch is down and in, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Well, when baseball officials asked the question, the mayor of Washington had a question of his own, that he would divulge the funding possibilities if baseball would tell him if they were serious about having the Expos move to the nation's capital or not. As the pitch is inside, now goes to 3-1. Remember, there were still about a half dozen cities vying for the opportunity to have the Expos move to their city. 3-1 pitch is lifted along the left field line. Simon over into the corner, right at the pole, crosses into foul territory and makes the catch for the out. So Pankovic fouls out, and the inning is over. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. JetHawks 15, Quakes 2 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
The Coors Light Beer Poets present a poem by Vinny.
Thank you. I'm at the beach with my buddy. Man, it's real hot. If I stay in the sun any longer, my shoulders are gonna hurt. What? They don't have to rhyme, but I resist the SPF 15 and stare at the ocean. But you just don't ask another dude to rub on suntan lotion. Oh, yeah. There's the rhyme.
There it is indeed, Vinny. To you, we raise a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Nobody sells more homes in Antelope Valley than RE/MAX All-Pro. When you're ready to sell your home, don't settle for anything less than the best. RE/MAX All-Pro. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. RE/MAX All-Pro with offices both in Lancaster and Palmdale. For more information on the Valley's top-selling team, visit their website at www.remaxallpro.com.
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full court, men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you gotta play. And you can't win if you don't sign up. So do it now. Call 661-942-1121.
Pick up your Hoop World entry form at Sports Chalet in Palmdale, Coach's Sports Bar and Grill, Vallarta Supermarkets in Lancaster and Palmdale.
Hoop World, presented by Robertson Palmdale Honda and Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley.
Move on to the bottom of the 6th inning now, with the JetHawks leading handily 15-2, and the JetHawks tying all sorts of season highs so far tonight. And James Carroll will continue on. And here in the inning for the JetHawks, they sent 10 men to the plate last inning in the 5th inning. As we go to the 6th, it'll be Jamie D'Antona, Phil Avlis, and Mayo Santana due up
Number 16
for the JetHawks. D'Antona, who is 3 for 3 and is a triple shy of the cycle. Homered in the first, singled in the third, doubled his last time up. And the pitch misses down low. 1 ball and no strikes against D'Antona. I believe there has been 2 JetHawk players ever hit for the cycle. One of them, Pee Wee Lopez. And I believe there was another one. Off the top of my head, I'd have to look it up just to make sure while I was away during those 2 years. That ball popped up. Buddy throws the mask away behind home plate, and D'Antona fouls out to open up here in the 6th inning. So here's Phil Avlis. Avlis, who's flown out, hit into a fielder's choice and singled. Phil 1 for 3. Started play hitting .377, which was back atop the league for the second day in a row after falling out of that spot for about a week or so. As Brandon Donnelly walking around down in the bullpen for the Quakes, kind of kicking around at the dirt. So it looks like he's going to start to get loose probably when the Quakes come back in to hit. As the pitch to Avlis misses down low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Working the bullpen for the JetHawks also, Mike Watson gets up and starts to throw. The 1-1 rolled up along the first base line. That'll go foul. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And don't forget, tomorrow at 4:30 on Adelphia Channel 3, another edition of the JetHawks Dugout Show with your host, Mitchell Chase. And then next Wednesday at 5 o'clock, we'll have another edition of the JetHawks Clubhouse for you, as we'll be on the road down in Lake Elsinore. The 1-0 pitch hit right back up through middle, base hit. Carroll tried to stick out the glove from behind him and almost got the glove on it, but Avalos rifles one right back through the box, and Phil has his second hit of the night.
First baseman, number 14, Mayo Santana.
For Avalos, it's his 10th multi-hit game. And here's Mayo Santana. Speaking of multi-hit games tonight, the JetHawks now with 14 hits overall. Pitch to Santana for a strike. Jackson with 3 hits. His second 3-hit game of the year. He also would now have 10 multi-hit games. As the pitch misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. D'Antona with 3 hits tonight. And for Jamie, it's his 6th 3-hit game this year. The 1-1. Chopper toward Ibar. Short hops. Goes to second for 1. The return throw to first is in time for a double play. Avalos went in at second base pretty good, but Pankovic able to get the throw off. And double up Santana as the JetHawks are out 6-4-3 for the double play to end the inning. No runs. A hit by Phil Avalos and nobody left. As we'll go to the 7th. Done with 6 at the hangar. JetHawks 15, the Quakes 2 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Good news, JetHawk fans. First City Credit Union is open to everyone who lives or works in the Antelope Valley. That means you can enjoy great loan and deposit rates, cost-saving checking, and friendly personalized credit union service. Real estate loans, too. Visit our new Lancaster branch at 1103 West Avenue K at the Target Center, or call 877-673-6868. First City, Antelope Valley's Credit Union. Call us at 877-673-6868. Deposits federally insured.
It's another year of baseball, and Waste Management of the Antelope Valley is excited to participate. Waste Management reminds you to recycle your materials at home and business. It's never too late to start recycling. Let's work together to uphold the mission of keeping AV clean. Remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle. It's the only way. For more information, visit www.keepingavclean.com and go JetHawks!
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full-court, men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you gotta play. You can't win if you don't sign up. So do it now. Call 661-942-1121.
Pick up your Hoop World entry form at Sports Chalet in Palmdale, Coach's Sports Bar and Grill, Vallarta Supermarkets in Lancaster and Palmdale.
Hoop World, presented by Roberts, Bob Honda, and Clear Channel Radio, Antelope Valley.
Well, the first and 7th inning of the JetHawks go to the bullpen as Mike Watson is going to come in and pick up. So Clint Gucher leaves with a fairly large lead after 6 innings of work here tonight. Gucher goes 6, gives up 2 runs on 7 hits. And leaves with a 13-run advantage as Mike Watson comes in. Watson will face Jason Sugden, the number 8 hitter. And B.J. Weed and back to the top of the order for the Quakes here in the 6th inning. And Brandon Donnelly now indeed does get up and start to get loose in the bullpen for the Quakes. First pitch rolled foul up along the first base side, and it's 0-1. Sugden took a called third strike, doubled in the 5th inning, got as far as third base, but then was left there. As the pitch is a fastball that misses outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Donnelly getting loose in the bullpen. We'll probably see him in the 7th and 8th innings. As Watson comes home, here's the 1-1 pitch to Sugden. It's hit foul. Back to the screen. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, one of the reasons why baseball is so concerned about the stadium and where the Expos will move, all you have to do is look at Milwaukee to find your answer, really. Milwaukee is considered a medium to small market team. As a pitch up high to Sugden, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. But the Milwaukee Brewers, who were $133 million in debt at the end of last season, announced their revenues have increased by 70% since moving into the new stadium, according to 2 reports released today in Milwaukee. The stadium, of course, was a taxpayer-financed stadium known as Miller Park. The 3-2 pitch hit foul. The reason why the Brewers had to release the information about their revenues, of course, remember the family of baseball commissioner Bud Selig owns the controlling interest in the team, and the team is up for sale. 3-2 pitch again to Sugden, swung on and missed. So Watson strikes out the first man that he faces. That's the 6th Quake hitter to go down on strikes today.
Number 4.
And it brings up B.J. Weed. Weed, 0 for 2. Flew out, grounded out. Several state lawmakers called for a full-fledged public audit of the Brewers' finances, as Weed takes the pitch inside, ball 1. Something the Brewers have long resisted when spending on players' salaries decreased after the new stadium was built in 2001. As the pitch swung on and missed by Weed, and it's 1 ball and 1 strikes. The Brewers opened their books to the state auditors and the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Weed hits one off the end of the bat. Quinton coming up. He's not going to get there. Falls in front of him for a hit. The 8th hit of the game for the Quakes. The first one for B.J. Weed, not only tonight, but his first one here at the hangar this whole trip. So it's back to the top of the order, and Reggie Willis now turns around and bats from the right side for the first time tonight. Willis was 0 for 3 against Gucher. Grounded out, struck out, and fouled out. Now he gets the hit from the left side against Mike Watson. Hits the first pitch foul back to the screen. No balls and 1 strike to count on Willits. The 0-1 pitch hit foul again off the third base side, and it's 0-2. So the Seattle Mariners today called up Pat Borders, the 40-year-old catcher from the Pacific Coast League. Of course, he's been playing in Tacoma. And to back up Dan Wilson, as Willits hits one of the air toward left field, hit well. Quinton going back at the wall. It is gone. Reggie Willits hits his 3rd of the year. It's a 2-run home run to make it 15-4. So a 15-4 game. Still only 1 out. Now here's Eric Ibar, who will also turn around and hit from the other side. So Watson touched up for a home run. And the first pitch to Ibar, up high, ball 1. 1 ball with no strikes. For Watson, that's the first home run of the year that he has allowed. As the next pitch is over for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. To make room for Borders on the roster today, the Mariners optioned catcher Ben Davis to their AAA affiliate in Tacoma. As that pitch is down low, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Davis, of course, who was the number 2 pick in the 1995 draft, as Ibar rolls one right up along the first base line, Santana picks it off and carries it to the bag for the second out. With 2 outs, it brings up Mike Napoli, who has homered, tripled, and scored twice. Davis, who was only hitting .091 this year, had 3 hits and 31 at-bats and only 2 RBIs in 14 games with the Mariners. As the pitch to Napoli is outside, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Borders, however, in his 22nd year of professional baseball, a member of the 1992 World Series champion Toronto Blue Jays, was hitting .233 with a couple of home runs in Tacoma in 14 games this year. The 1-1 is hit foul as count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Mike Napoli. The 1-2 pitch, big overhand breaking ball from Watson is on the outside corner at strike 3 called. As Napoli goes down looking, and the Quakes settle for the 2 runs here in the top of the 7th inning. We'll go bottom 7. JetHawks leading 15-4 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Hello? Is this Desert Star Limousine?
Yep.
I need a 2003 H2 Hummer limo that seats up to 18 with black leather and cheetah interior and a VIP lounge in back. Oh, and flat screen TVs. You got that?
Of course.
You do? I'll call you back.
Hello, Desert Star Limousine.
I need a super stretched excursion limousine on 20s. It's got a seat up to 16 and gotta have a CD, DVD, a stock bar, fiber optics, a laser light show, and fish tanks. You got that?
Yep.
Oh. Well, how about traditional stretched Lincoln limos? I might be getting married this weekend. You got that?
Yes.
Anytime you need any kind of ride, call Desert Star Limousines at 940-1914. Desert Star specializes in birthday parties, rider packages, and great nights out on the town. Call 940-1914.
Strobe lights?
Yep.
Wet bar?
Yep.
Fog machine?
Yep.
PlayStation?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Call Desert Star Limousine 940-1914.
The Coors Light Beer Poets present Travis and his poem, Dude Fest.
I went to a party, my head was swimming. There were 23 guys and only 4 women. Just then I noticed a smile on my bro Tim. The hotties finally showed, including that one from the gym.
Thanks, Travis. That was special. To you, we raise a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Down to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Brandon Donnelly comes in to pitch for Rancho. Donnelly making his second rehab appearance with the Quakes, as he becomes the 3rd pitcher of the night used by Rancho Cucamonga. Donnelly will face Matt Morgan, Neb Brown, and then back to the top of the order, and Jared Ball.
Making his way to the plate, the shortstop, number 9, Matt Morgan.
Matt Morgan will lead it off against Donnelly. Donnelly, in case you weren't with us in the pregame show or you don't know the story, Donnelly was at spring training this year with the Angels and was hit in the face with a ball. The ball broke Donnelly's nose in 20 places. As the first pitch to Donnelly is from Donnelly, I should say to Morgan, is up high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Donnelly, who was treated, missed a couple of weeks of spring training, then tried to come back and started to have severe nosebleeds. As the pitch is swung on and missed by Morgan, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. He was taken back to the hospital, had more sinus surgery to repair some more problems, and now finally gets to start to play here in 2004 as the pitch is up high, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Donnelly, who is 6'3", 240 pounds, born in Washington, D.C., makes his home in Albuquerque now. Was signed originally as a minor league free agent by the Angels in January of 2001. And he is signed through this year by the Angels. As the pitch is swung on and missed, and it goes back to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Donnelly, who's been playing all over. In fact, he's been playing professionally since 1992. The 2-2 pitch is hit foul off the windows over in the sky boxes, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was originally selected by those Chicago White Sox in the 27th round of the 1992 draft. Was released by the White Sox in 1993. This is one of those guys who is the example of perseverance and never giving up on your dream. Off speed pitch to Morgan is swung on and missed. So Matt strikes out, and it brings up Ned Brown. Brown with a 3-run home run, a scoring fly ball. He's driven in 4 tonight. And the only time they did get him was on a great play by the shortstop Ibar. Well, Donnelly goes over to say something to the first baseman, Napoli. Now here's Brown. All in all, let's see, he's played for the White Sox, the Cubs, spent part of the year in independent ball playing for Ohio Valley, as the pitch is outside, ball 1. Went to the Reds for a while, was released, re-signed by the Reds, and then released again. Then went back to independent ball playing in Nashua, as the pitch to Brown is rolled foul. Had his contract purchased by the Devil Rays in May of 1999, was released in August of that year, signed with the Pirates, was released a week later, signed by the Blue Jays in August of 1999, released in July of 2000, re-signed by the Cubs in August of 2000, then was granted his free agency as a pitch to Brown over for a strike, and it's 1-2 in October of 2000. The Angels then signed him just after the first of the year in 2001. Played in Arkansas, Salt Lake for a while, then finally made it to the big leagues with the Angels in 2002 and was 1-1 during that year. And was part of the World Championship team, having pitched in 46 games that year. As the pitch again to Brown is low, down 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last year, Donnelly appeared in 63 games for Mike Scioscia and had an ERA of less than a 2 at 1.58 and a 2-2 record, having worked in 74 innings. 3-2 pitch is low. And the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It took him 11 professional campaigns to finally get to the big leagues. And was one of the leading guys out of the bullpen for Mike Scioscia during the World Series championship year of 2002. And the 3-2 pitch to Ned Brown is outside, ball 4. So Brown heads down to first. And we'll go back to the top of the order now, and Jared Ball due up.
Center fielder, number 20, Jared Ball.
Donnelly, who worked 1 inning against Inland Empire last Monday, back at Rancho. First pitch to Jared Ball is swung on and missed for a strike. It's 0-1. Did not give up any runs. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out one. He did give up one hit and faced a total of 4 hitters. Next pitch to Ball is a ground ball into right field for a base hit. Brown will stop at second base as Jared Ball has his second hit of the game. And now Doc Brooks will come up with 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's the 15th hit of the game for the JetHawks. And here is Doc Brooks. Brooks, like the bottom 2 in the order last night for Rancho Cucamonga, is without a hit. Yeah, as the first pitch misses down low. 1 ball and no strikes. When Rancho had 17 hits last night, Messrs. Sugden and Weed were a combined 0 for 10. Tonight the JetHawks with 15 hits, and Brooks is 0 for 3 and was hit by a pitch once. Pitch in the dirt knocked down by Ryan Buddy, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. JetHawks broke this game open with 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Wally Backman then started to get some of his regulars a little bit of a time off. 2-0 pitch is pulled along the line, foul down into the Quakes bullpen. And Brooks will have to come back to the count now 2-1. Cedric flew out and is grounded out twice and was hit by a pitch as part of that 7-run 5th. And he goes back up to the plate, picks up the bat again. And it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. So Donnelly works out of the stretch with 1 out here in the 7th. Brandon Reddy comes home to 2-1. Check swing, didn't mean to, but hit it foul. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Donnelly's best outing, if you look back to the playoffs of 2002, his best outings out of the bullpen came in probably the most critical games. Donnelly's 2-2. This is inside, runs the count full 3-2. In Game 6 and Game 7 of the World Series, Donnelly actually earned the victory in relief in that comeback win in Game 6 as he worked a scoreless 8th inning. Walked 1 and struck out 1 during that inning. And then in Game 7 the next day, he tossed 2 more scoreless frames, giving up just 1 hit over 2 innings. As the next pitch is swung on and missed by Brooks, as Donnelly just winds up and throws it past Doc. So that's the 2nd out, 2nd strikeout for Brandon Donnelly. Now Brandon Simon due up. And Simon coming to the plate. So Simon up there for the first time tonight after replacing Connor Jackson after he hit the grand slam home run in the 5th inning. And Simon up there for his first time here tonight. Donnelly ready, looks back at second base, comes home, the 0-1 pitch, hit foul, back into the screen again, and it's 0-2. Donnelly, who allowed just 1 hit in 7 2/3 innings of work in the World Series. It was the most shutout innings by a reliever since Cincinnati's Tom Howell worked 8 1/3 innings in 1972 when the Reds beat the Oakland A's. As the pitch is swung on and missed, they'll have to retire the out at first base, which they do. And Donnelly ends up striking out 3 in the inning. Gives up a walk and a single, but leaves both men out there on the bases. We'll go to the 8th. JetHawks leading 15-4 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Race fans, start your engines. Don't miss your chance to get a behind-the-scenes look at the new 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Dodge Dealers Intrepid. This is the Evernham Motorsports race car, like the one Casey Kane drives in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, and it can be seen at Hunter Dodge this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is not just a simple show car. This red Dodge Dealers Intrepid arrives just as it appears on track. The car can run at more than 200 miles per hour and includes the safety equipment mandated by NASCAR. Even the race engine is authentic and has output of more than 700 horsepower. Don't miss your chance to see, touch, and photograph the new 2004 Dodge Dealers Intrepid race car at Hunter Dodge in the Lancaster Auto Mall this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full court. Men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you've got to play. And you can't win if you don't sign up. So do it now. Call 661-942-1121.
Pick up your Hoop World entry form after the game. Team Sports Locker, Copeland Sports AV Mall, Cold Stone in Palmdale and Lancaster.
Hoop World. Presented by Robertson Fonda Honda and Clear Channel Radio in Antelope Valley.
Moving on to the 8th inning, JetHawks leading handily 15-4. Jared Abruzzo will lead it off here for the Quakes. As we go to the 8th, Abruzzo with 2 hits tonight and has also struck out once, 2 for 3 overall. As he'll face Mike Watson. Watson, first pitch misses outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Watson on a relief from Clint Glucher, who went 6 innings tonight, stands to pick up his 3rd win of the year. Thanks to the offensive explosion tonight by the JetHawks. Lancaster scored 3 times in the first inning on a back-to-back home runs. 2 more in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, then the big 7 in the 5th. As a pitch hit foul off the first base side, it's 0-2 on Abruzzo. So no balls and 2 strikes, the pitch home. Big off-speed pitch stays high. And the count now evens at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, the pitch home to Jared. Another breaking pitch that stays high. As Abruzzo back up to the plate yet again. The next pitch is hammered to right field. Back on the ball is Quentin, and this one is way out of here. Abruzzo gets one right in the wheelhouse from Watson and turns on it and hits it way out to right field. A solo home run, his first home run of the year. And that's now a 15-5 JetHawk lead. As Watson touched up for his 2nd home run in as many innings. As that'll bring up Greg Porter. Porter with 2 hits. Single, double, drove home a run. As the first pitch misses outside, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Next pitch, a little broken bat floater right at Morgan, the shortstop, for the first out. So Porter lines out and brings up Ryan Buddy. Buddy's 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out twice and popped up. So here's Buddy looking for his first hit of the game. The first pitch, a breaking ball for a strike from Watson. It's 0-1. Buddy, who started play today, hitting at .231. That'll go down with him being down in the 3-0 as the pitch is hit toward left field, and this one is gone as Buddy hits it out. So Watson gives up his third home run since coming in relief. Second home run in the inning. 2 runs home for the Quakes. As down in the bullpen, Carlton Wells starts to get loose for Lancaster.
Number 17, Adam Petkovich, second base.
So here's Adam Petkovich. As the first pitch to Petkovich misses inside, ball 1. Petkovich tonight is lined out. He's also fouled out. He's 0 for 3 overall. Here's the 1-0. Again on the outside edge, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Watson ready again, the 1-1 pitch. Big over the top curveball, hit in the air to center. Ball over into right center. Jarrett's there, makes the squeeze for the second out. So there's 2 outs.
Number 23, Jason Sugden.
Now here is Jason Sugden. First pitch to Sugden outside. Sugden has struck out twice. Once looking, once swinging. He's also a double tonight. Got as far as third base, but was left there on the bases. Watson ready, the 1-0 pitch. Hit in the air toward right, out in front of it. Quinton coming up in a hurry. Carlos is there, makes the catch for the out. But the Quakes get 2 in the inning on a pair of solo home runs, one by Jared Abruzzo, the other by Ryan Buddy. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. JetHawks 15, Quakes 6 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Got debt? Are creditors harassing you with constant phone calls? Have you recently been hit with a garnishment, lawsuit, or judgment? If you have any of these problems, a bankruptcy may be the solution. Attorney Antico dedicates his law practice exclusively to bankruptcy. While a BK is not a solution for everyone, it may be the one for you. Call Attorney Antico. Toll free 800-227-2947 or log on to avbankruptcy.com for a free consultation.
Burns Pharmacy in downtown Lancaster is your one-stop home health care center and have been serving the Valley for over 50 years. Whether it's wound care, diabetic supplies, ostomy, mastectomy products, incontinence supplies, or bathroom equipment, Burns Pharmacy at 866 Lancaster Boulevard is the one stop you'll ever need to make. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 9 to 6 on Saturdays, or visit their website at www.burnsrxpharmacy.com. With over 50 years in the Valley, you'll never need to go anywhere else. Burns Pharmacy.
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full court. Men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you've got to play. And you can't win if you don't sign up. So do it now. Call 661-942-1121.
Pick up your Hoop World entry form after the game. T-Sports Locker, Copeland Sports AV Mall, Cold Stone in Palmdale and Lancaster.
Hoop World. Presented by Robertson, Palmdale Honda, and Clear Channel Radio, Antelope Valley.
You're listening to Lancaster JetHawks Baseball on Community Radio, 1340 AM. KTPI AM Mojave.
Carlos Quinton leads it off for the JetHawks as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Dan Hubbard back with you from the hangar tonight. JetHawks 15 runs on 15 hits. For the Quakes, 6 runs on 11 hits. They've committed 2 errors. And Brandon Donnelly will go into his second scheduled inning of work here tonight in rehab for the Anaheim Angels, as he's trying to work his way back to the big leagues. And we certainly wish him the best. As the first pitch to Quinn over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Carlos homered in the first inning, and since then he has made out 3 times. Grounded out, or I should say flew out twice, and struck out his last time up. Jamie D'Antonio will have another shot at possibly hitting for the cycle as he waits on deck. And we'll also see Phil Avalos here in the inning as well, as now Buddy and Donnelly want to get together on the signs here for a second. So the JetHawks, for the 3rd day in a row, score in the first inning, although the Quakes did get one early in the first on a solo home run by Mike Napoli in the first inning. Look out, fastball up and in. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And the JetHawks came back with 3 in the bottom of the first and really haven't looked back since then. Next pitch to Carlos on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Donnelly coming home. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's up and in. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Carlos Quinton. Quinton with the 1 hit that he did have today, so far at least, the home run in the first inning, extended a hitting streak out. He's now hit in 4 straight, and in 5 of the last 6. A 3-2 pitch hit foul. That's going to end up over here in just off to our right in the sky boxes. And the count stays at 2-2. Carlton Wells continues to throw in the bullpen for Lancaster. Take a look at the scoreboard coming up on the postgame show. As Donnelly ready again, the 2-2 to Quinton. Hit in the air toward right center. It's playable, though. Willits over into right center field, makes the catch for the second out. Take that, the first out, sorry. 1 out here in the 8th inning. So to bring up Jamie D'Antona. D'Antona, who is a triple shy of the cycle. Homered in the first, a solo job, the back half of the back-to-back home runs in the first inning by the JetHawks tonight. And hits one foul back to the screen against Donnelly. D'Antona also had an RBI single in the 3rd, doubled in the 5th, and has scored twice tonight. The one time they got him, he fouled out to the catcher, Ryan Buddy. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Got D'Antona to chase one down in the dirt. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So D'Antona back up there 0-2. Donnelly's 0-2 pitch is rolled on the ground toward the second baseman, Pankovic. Has it, throws across in time for the out. There's 2 outs here in the 8th. So there's 2 outs. Now here is Phil Avalos. Avalos with a pair of hits tonight. Singled each of his last 2 times up. He's 2 for 4 overall. It'll not be Avalos. It'll be Dan Tosca who will come up and hit. So Tosca will pinch hit here for Avalos. And the first pitch over for a strike from Brandon Donnelly. Tosca, who pinch hit last night, had a 2-run single. So Danny with a little 2-game hitting streak. He's also hit safely in 4 of 5. As he rolls one up along the first base line, that's going to roll foul, and it's 0-2. Up in Stockton tonight, now Inland Empire leading the Stockton Ports 5-1. That's the top of the 6th inning. Stockton, who's 3 games under 500, and only break even at home at 6-6. Having their hands full. Felix Hernandez on the mound tonight for the 66ers. The 0-2 pitch to Tosca is a fastball that's high, 1-2. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tosca. Outfield pretty much straight away against him. And the 1-2 is hit to center, base hit. The pinch hitting machine, Tosca, continues to roll. Tosca with a pinch hit single last night, has a pinch single here tonight. And for Tosca, he's now hit in 3 straight games. Now here comes Mayo Santana. Santana will hit from the right side. Mayo with 2 hits tonight. He's also walked. And the first pitch from Donnelly is down low, ball 1. 1 ball with no strikes. Donnelly, who usually well recognized by the goggles, or like the racquetball goggles he will wear, that actually were prescription. Although he's not wearing them tonight. He's actually wearing glasses tonight. Maybe he's gone away from wearing those goggles. As a pitch to Mayo hit foul back to the screen. Donnelly, who doesn't like the feel of the new baseball that he got from the home plate umpire, will flip it back to the catcher and get a different one instead. He takes a little walk out behind the mound. Now up on top. Sets the foot, looks into Buddy for a sign, has the one he wants. Sets and comes home with the 1-2. It's hit foul again off the first base sign. So the count stays a ball and 2 strikes on Mayo Bannock Santana. Donnelly ready, and again the 1-2. In the dirt goes to the backstop. Tosca's going to go to second on a wild pitch. So it's a wild pitch for Brandon Donnelly. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Santana. So the JetHawks looking to win 2 out of 3 with this 9-run lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Win 2 out of 3 from the Quakes and await the arrival of the High Desert Mavericks tomorrow. As Donnelly, before he sets, he'll back off for a moment. Want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning for the Quakes. They'll have B.J. Weed, and back at the top of the order, Reggie Willits and Eric Ibar due up. Donnelly ready. Here's the 2-2. Got him. Good high fastball, blew Santana away. No runs. A pinch hit single by Dan Tasca, but they leave him out there on the bases. As 2 will go to the 9th inning. After 8, JetHawks up 15-6 on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Race fans, start your engine. Don't miss your chance to get a behind-the-scenes look at the new 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Dodge Dealers Intrepid. This is the Evernham Motorsports race car, like the one Casey Kane drives in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, and it can be seen at Hunter Dodge this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is not just a simple show car. This red Dodge Dealers Intrepid arrives just as it appears on track. The car can run at more than 200 miles per hour and includes the safety equipment mandated by NASCAR. Even the race engine is authentic and has output of more than 700 horsepower. Don't miss your chance to see, touch, and photograph the new 2004 Dodge Dealers Intrepid race car at Hunter Dodge in the Lancaster Auto Mall this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Is your team ready? Hoop World returns to JetHawks Stadium in Lancaster, May 22nd and 23rd. 3-on-3 half-court, 4-on-4 full-court, men and women, boys and girls. If you've got a team, you've got to play. And you can't win if you don't sign up. So do it now. Call 661-942-1121.
Pick up your Hoop World entry form after the game. Team Sports Locker, Copeland Sports AV Mall, Cold Stone in Palmdale and Lancaster.
Hoop World. Presented by Robertson Palmdale Honda and Clear Channel Radio, Antelope Valley.
Walden Wells will come in to pitch as we go to the ninth inning. As Doc Brooks is going to go into left field. Doc Brooks now takes over in left field for the JetHawks. Going from left to right is Brandon Simon. So the pitcher's spot, Wells, will actually go in to the lineup in Carlos Quinton's spot. So Wells in to pitch. And here in the ninth inning, the JetHawks up 15-6. Wells, the third pitcher of the night used by the JetHawks. And the first pitch to B.J. Weed over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Weed with one hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. And the next pitch is a ground ball hit on the ground to Neb Brown at second base. Neb will gobble that thing up and throw him out. 1 out in the ninth. It looked like the JetHawks last night had it 1 in the ninth inning, only to see the roof fall in on them. After 2 were out. In fact, last night in the ninth inning, Jamie D'Antona had a ball hit to him that a lot of people thought maybe he had a play at second base. But to be honest with you, I wasn't sure he had a play there. But he opted to take the ball to first base anyway. Threw it on a bounce that Jesus Cota could not handle and opened the floodgates. Ground ball along the first base line. Mayo will field it in fair ground. Give it to Wells and just does get him at the bag. Mayo started for the bag and then at the last minute flipped it to Carlton Wells. And there's 2 outs. That moment of indecision. So 2 outs. And here is Eric Ibar as Willits grounds out. And the first pitch to Ibar is rolled foul on home plate. Ibar is 0 for 4 tonight. And Eric up there with a little modest 3-game hitting streak on the line here. As Wells ready comes home. The 0-1 pitch off speed, swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Wells ready. The 0-2 pitch to Ibar is inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dan Casca also stays in the game and does the catching for the JetHawks after pinch hitting for Phil Avalos in the bottom of the 8th inning. Wells ready again as he comes home. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Ibar goes 0 for 5. The JetHawks win 2 out of 3 from the Quakes, winning tonight by the final score of 15-6. So the JetHawks up their record as they are now 17-10, and we'll await the decision of what happens with Inland Empire up at Stockton here tonight. So the JetHawks win 2 out of 3 from the Quakes, and we'll await the arrival of the High Desert Mavericks here tomorrow night. Final score: JetHawks 15, Quakes 6. Back to the final totals, the winning and losing pitchers after this on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
The Coors Like Their Poets present a poem by Rabbit.
My foot long is lonely. It needs a beer. Hey, yo, is that a beer vendor coming near? Bringing beer to my nosebleed seat? That was the play of the game. Yeah. I've got a man crush on this vendor, and I say that without shame.
No shame here, Rabbit. We raise a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
know everyone deserves a second chance. That's why we keep asking you to recycle your beverage containers. Yeah, it's not always convenient, and it's real easy to make up excuses. But the next time you reach for a bottle that's recyclable, just ask yourself, how will it end up in the recycling bin? With a plastic bottle, I'm thinking right now, jump shot. Please recycle your beverage containers because it's not trash. Sponsored by the City of Lancaster and funded by a grant from the California Department of Conservation.
When you need a solution to pests in and around your home, business, or in the landscape, call Care Pest Solutions. Experience and diversity enables Care Pest Solutions customers to make one call for all of their pest management needs. Why take on the task of pest control yourself when Care Pest Solutions can do it all for you? Mention you heard about us on the radio and receive a $20 discount towards your first service. Care Pest Solutions, the official pest management of the Lancaster JetHawks. Call 951-1843. Our most important service is yours.
Well, the JetHawks win it by the final score of 15-6. For the JetHawks, 15 runs on 16 hits. They do not commit an error. It's only the third time this year the JetHawks play a game without an error, and it breaks a string of 12 straight games. The JetHawks had committed at least one error. For Rancho Cucamonga, 6 runs on 11 hits. They committed 2 errors tonight. The winning pitcher, Clint Goocher, who goes to 3-2. Gooch went 6 innings tonight. Gave up a couple of runs on 7 hits to pick up the win. Joe Saunders takes the loss and slips to 2-4 on the year as he was battered around over the first 4 1/3. Gave up 12 hits and a truckload of runs as he goes to 2-4 on the year. Time of the game, 2 hours and 43 minutes. 1,220 here to see it on this Thursday evening. So the JetHawks, 17-10 now on the year, will await the arrival of the High Desert Mavericks coming up here tomorrow night for a weekend 3-game series that gets started here tomorrow. I'm Dan Hubbard at the Hangar. We'll now invite you to stay tuned. The post-game show is next on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Lancaster JetHawks Baseball 2004 is brought to you in part by Toyota. With a complete line of cars and trucks, Toyota, what a feeling. By First City Credit Union. They are the Antelope Valley's credit union. By RE/MAX All-Pro. Nobody sells more homes in the Antelope Valley than RE/MAX All-Pro. By Hunter Dodge and the Lancaster Auto Center. And by Farmer John, made fresh right here in the Southland. Get fresh, get Farmer John. Now stay tuned for the JetHawks postgame show coming up next on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
This is Rodney Jacobson, branch manager with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. For most people, finding a new home is often the most exciting and easiest part of home buying. But how do you go about choosing a lender? Well, that's easy too. With Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, you get all the resources of one of the nation's leading lenders working with you one-on-one in your own neighborhood. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to move up, experienced Wells Fargo Home Mortgage consultants will carefully guide you through their complete selection of mortgage choices. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage also offers flexible down payments and closing options, all designed to get your family into a home today. It's your single source for total home buying service and solutions. Call Wells Fargo Home Mortgage in Lancaster today at 945-3682, 945-3682. At Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, we build dreams, not barriers.
Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender.
Good news, JetHawk fans. First City Credit Union is open to everyone who lives or works in the Antelope Valley. That means you can enjoy great loan and deposit rates, cost-saving checking, and friendly personalized credit union service. Real estate loans, too. Visit our new Lancaster branch at 1103 West Avenue K at the Target Center or call 877-673-6868. First City, Antelope Valley's Credit Union. Call us at 877-673-6868. Deposits federally insured.
California Dairy Distributors bring you Altadena Dairy products, the best in the valley, delivered fresh to your neighborhood stores. Look for the finest premium brand ice cream products, novelties, and milk, pure, wholesome, and good. Guaranteed by farmers to be RBST-free. Check with your neighborhood store. If they're not carrying Altadena products, call the California Dairy Distributors at 1-800-600-3164 for the location nearest you. Doesn't a tall glass of ice-cold milk sound good? California Dairy Distributors, proud sponsor of the Lancaster JetHawks.
This is the Lancaster JetHawks postgame show. Stay tuned for a recap of the just concluded JetHawks game. A look at the scoreboard and the player of the game on the Lancaster JetHawks postgame show.
Well, welcome back to the hangar tonight. The JetHawks going to take out their frustrations from losing a game late last night in a Quakes final at bat as they scored 4 times unearned in the top of the ninth inning last night. Tonight, the JetHawks come out and they pound out 16 hits, score 15 runs, and go on to the 15-6 win. Clinton Gucher, the winner, goes to 3-2 on the year, and Joe Saunders, who has now lost his last 4 starts in a row, is now 2-4. Quakes got on the board first, a solo home run by Mike Napoli in the first inning tonight, gave them a 1-0 lead after a half inning of play, but then the JetHawks came back, and like last night, they scored 3 times in the bottom of the first. After 2 were out, Connor Jackson singled, and then Carlos Quinton came up and gave the JetHawks a lead. The 2-0 pitch to Carlos Quinton, driven to center. Back on the ball goes Willett, still going back. He'll turn. It's going to be over the wall. Home run. It was a low line drive as Carlos Quinton hits a 2-iron over the center field fence for his 6th home run of the year. The JetHawks take the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. Jamie D'Antona then followed, and D'Antona hit a solo home run. And the JetHawks led 3-1 after a half inning of play. It stayed that way as Clint Gucher was able to work through 6 innings tonight and not give up any other runs tonight. But then the JetHawks came back and got the offense going again, leading 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mayo Santana led off the inning with a walk. Matt Morgan singled, and Neb Brown then came up. And for Neb, he would extend the lead just a little bit more. Low goes on the bases after all. 3-0 pitch is hit toward right field and hit well. Going back, Sugden at the wall, leaps, can't get it, it's gone. 3-run home run for Neb Brown. It's 8-1 JetHawks. Sugden tried to time his leap, but he couldn't do it. As Brown hits it out over the 385 sign in right center field. It's a 3-run home run. The JetHawks lead 8-1. That's then the JetHawks would then go to the 5th inning, leading 8-1. And in the 5th inning, they would send a total of 10 men to the plate. All started in the inning with Carlos Quinton flying out. Jamie D'Antona doubled. Phil Avalos then came up and singled. Then Mayo Santana came to the plate, and Mayo gave the JetHawks a 9-1 lead. The 0-2 pitch to Santana, lifted in the air to center. Willits has to go back. He doesn't see the ball. He has no idea where it's at. It falls about 30 feet to his right. Coming home to score is D'Antona. Avalos stops at second base on a long RBI single by Mayo Santana, his 2nd hit of the game. And for Santana, it may have been kind of a gift hit, but he'll take it as he hasn't really had much of a chance to play. This was his first game that he had played in 9 days for the JetHawks, so believe me, any opportunity to play and any opportunity to produce for Mayo is certainly welcome. Morgan then followed with a walk to load the bases. A scoring fly ball by Neb Brown picked up 1 run. Jared Ball hit a ground ball to Penkovich and went right between his feet to score another run. Doc Brooks then came up and was hit by a pitch to load the bases, and then Connor Jackson came up, and Connor ended any speculation about how this game would end. Jackson, the 0-1 pitch, is hit in the air toward left field. Going back on the ball is Weed, and it's gone. A grand slam for Connor Jackson. The 2nd grand slam home run of the year for the JetHawks. 4 more runs home in the inning, and it's 15-1. The final score would end up the JetHawks winning here tonight by the final score of 15-6. JetHawks pound out 16 hits in the win. Connor Jackson with 5 RBIs, Neb Brown with 4 RBIs tonight for the JetHawks. So Lancaster wins at 15-6. Back to take a quick look at the scoreboard next on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
You have exquisite taste, a profound respect for tradition, a deep appreciation for quality and design. Then there's the other you.
The one who likes bopping around town in your stylish Toyota RAV4. Or the one who loves nothing better than cruising in your smooth-riding Highlander. With room for 7 and an available 230 horsepower V6, you're flat out gone. It's conquering mountains more you? Then hit the road and the off-road in a powerful 245 horsepower 4Runner. Or conquer the world in the ultimate Toyota SUV, the mighty Land Cruiser. The full-size Sequoia is ready to rock too, with room for 8 and a V8.
Yes, with 5 Toyota SUVs to choose from, there's sure to be one that's just right for you.
And the other you. See your Southern California Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Get the feeling. Toyota.
Ready? Okay. Supreme Cheer proudly presents Clear Channel Radio Antelope Valley's very first cheer clinic and exhibition, May 22nd and 23rd at JetHawks Stadium. Clinic participants get a taste of learning, practicing, and performing new routines. Plus, they'll build self-confidence heading into the upcoming cheer season. All ages are welcome, no experience necessary, and each participant gets a free T-shirt with paid registration of just $25. For more info on this exciting cheer clinic and exhibition, call 942-1121. That's 942-1121.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard. You've got a California League scoreboard tonight. It has now gone to the top of the 8th inning in Stockton. The Ports scored 3 times in the bottom of the 7th to get back within a run. It's now Inland Empire 5, Stockton 4, as they play in the 8th inning at Billy Hebert Field. Earlier today, the Bakersfield Blaze beat the San Jose Giants 2-0. Chris Seddon picked up the win, his 3rd of the year. He's now 3-0. Visalia scored 3 times in the 4th inning, 5 more times in the 5th. They lead 10-6 at Modesto as they play in the top of the 7th inning. Also in the top of the 7th inning over at Maverick Stadium in Adelanto, it's Lake Elsinore 5 and the High Desert Mavericks 4. So that's a look at the California League scoreboard. Inland Empire in a close game. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow when the morning papers come out to see if the JetHawks are able to pick up a game in the standings or not. At the very worst, they would start Friday against the Mavericks, a game and a half behind the Inland Empire 66ers. That's a look at the scoreboard brought to you by the UPS store in Palmdale. Whether it's printing, shipping, or binding, it's the UPS store in Palmdale that can help you. Stop by and see what Brown can do for you. Back with more after this from the hangar on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
Yeah! Woohoo! Good game! Yeah, let's get a little cheering going, people! Come on, people, let's go!
Nice air horn. And let me guess, you don't have the SBC Smart Yellow Pages, huh?
Nah, I got this other phone book. Works fine. Not a lot of ads for sporting goods, though.
That would explain that awesome little horn there.
I think it carries well.
For the most complete, reliable information around, look for the SBC Smart Yellow Pages or go to smartpages.com.
Race fans, start your engines. Don't miss your chance to get a behind-the-scenes look at the new 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Dodge Dealers Intrepid. This is the Evernham Motorsports race car, like the one Casey Kane drives in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, and it can be seen at Hunter Dodge this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is not just a simple show car. This red Dodge Dealers Intrepid arrives just as it appears on track. The car can run at more than 200 miles per hour and includes the safety equipment mandated by NASCAR. Even the race engine is authentic and has output of more than 700 horsepower. Don't miss your chance to see, touch, and photograph the new 2004 Dodge Dealers Intrepid race car at Hunter Dodge in the Lancaster Auto Mall this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
The JetHawks win it tonight by the final score of 15-6. As the 15 runs on the night for the JetHawks ties a season high. The 16 hits in the game also ties a season high. It's actually the third time this year the JetHawks have had 16 hits in a game. The 7 runs they scored in the bottom of the 5th inning is also ties a season high. So the JetHawks right up at the snuff as far as equaling season highs throughout the offensive categories. But the one category that Wally Backman will probably be most happy about is the fact that the JetHawks did not commit any errors tonight. It snaps a streak of 12 straight games in which the JetHawks had committed at least one error in a game. So it's only the third time all year the JetHawks play a clean game defensively on the season. So tomorrow the High Desert Mavericks will be here, 6:30 first pitch. It'll be Adam Bass going to the mound to make his 6th start of the year for the JetHawks tomorrow. Eric Henderson will go to the mound for the Mavericks. It's also Jim Slayton bobblehead giveaway night. Gates open at 5:30. Tickets still available, and Jim Slayton will be here to sign autographs and sign the bobblehead dolls, too, if you like, before the game here tomorrow night against the High Desert Mavericks. So until then, I'm Dan Hubbard speaking to you from the hangar in Lancaster. Thanks for listening tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow when the Mavericks come to town as the JetHawks beat the Quakes tonight in the final game of the 3-game series and win the series 3-2, winning this evening by the final score of 15-6. From the hangar in Lancaster, good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Lancaster JetHawks postgame show. And we invite you to join us again next time on the Lancaster JetHawks Baseball Network.
This is Classic Country, KTBI AM, Mojave, Lancaster, Palmdale.